hello, friends. Our captions are not great, so don't read them.
Read
them
Does it say Ian
all.
McDermott can get these cheeks
No,
still?
it
Well,
said,
you said it
does
now we're
now.
live, so it
No, it
doesn't
doesn't.
matter.
it said shit in a stack, but
shit
I gotta
in the stick.
fix someone's camera. But anyways, hello, welcome. Tonight I am joined by my fantastic cast. We are back from our little holiday break. I hope everybody enjoyed their holidays, but we are rearing and ready to get back into this. So tonight I have Alex playing King Jack's Isifer. I have Sam playing Blossom on the Water. I have Lucy playing Brynanwyn Lielo. I have Patches playing Yarmir. And I have Abby playing Adrian Blackburn. Thank you for joining us. We're going to throw you over to a character recap done by our very own Sam in character as Blossom on the Water. And enjoy.
Hey, Ma. I'm glad to say that I'm not writing this from a jail cell, waiting for my turn at the gallows or something. I'm not sure where I am writing from, though. Somewhere deep underground. So far, thanks to some help escaping Maywood from that charming bastard Ton, we've managed not to get caught for me murdering that guard. Who was, by the way, the son of General Claymore, head of Maywood's army. Because of course he was. So, that's just fucking great. Once we escaped the city, we made it to the town of Pearl to look for Acralius Finch's missing bird. We finally found it in a small village where it was caught in a cage by a young elf girl named Felicity. She turned out to be a super powerful necromancer. Her family and village died because something is wrong with the river nearby. It poisoned them, I think. And Felicity rose them all. She was puppeteering them like it was nothing. It was the creepiest thing I've ever seen, and we just left a tower with a blood and corpse laboratory. Bryn was able to talk the kid down from attacking us with the undead. Kangjax was having a lot of trouble with the zombies around. I guess Bull Yang doesn't like undead very much. We made it to a village called Emberglade, where we met with some distant relatives of Bryn's. I'm real happy for her to have found some family that welcome her. I know she thought she was alone till now. Maybe now she'll know she's not anymore. We also met someone else real special. Kangjax's old flame was there. Her name is Agora, and she seems like a real peach. I can see why Kangjax likes her. She must be someone important back home, because she had to marry one of Bryn's cousins for some political reasons. I think she still likes Kangjax, though, and her husband Lathander seems like a real donkus. I don't like the idea of politics and tradition keeping folks apart from each other like that. It's not right. At least the two lovebirds get to spend some time together for a bit. Aurora is coming with us to look into whatever weird stuff is harming the water in the area. Seems something in the river is what killed Felicity's family and village, and it's making its way upstream to Pearl now, too. We've made it to the Concords, a collection of small towns that have banded together to stay independent from Maywood. Whatever is wrong with the river seems to have started around here. We met with a man named Duke Eli Lagano, and he actually seems like a good guy for a noble type, although I think he may exaggerate things even more than I do. He was thankful that we're willing to look into things, especially now that the problem is spread into other towns, too. We investigated the Concord's old well and water source, which used to be blessed by some arch-existence or fey creature called the Lady of the Lake. Apparently she died a few years ago, and her son and heir has been away ever since. I wonder if that's got something to do with it? I know blessings can be powerful as heck if there's one thing I've learned traveling with Kangjax these last few months. Maybe that power being gone is why things have gone wrong. We found a crack in the local well that led to some creepy caverns. Kangjax fell into a whirlpool and a pit trying to reach a magic ring that we found hanging out over it. Thanks to him, I'm still soaking wet after going in after the big fuzzy goofball. Sorry if the ink is smudgy now. Kangjax fought off these two creepy brain creatures with tentacles and beaks, and we found a giant pit of what looks like some kind of demon ichor that's leaking into the river. I guess that's what's causing the problems, but who put it here and why? What were those weird brain creatures, and what are these gross, fleshy-looking hives that we found in the Ichor Pond and in another room? We're still investigating this cavern area, and things are just getting weirder and weirder. We found markings we can't read on a door, and we fought some big magic spiky armor that Adrian is rocking now. We also found these strange zombie-like creatures that seem to be preying to one of those flesh hives. It's creepy and gross, and Eli better pay us real well for helping with this mess. We fought off these marrow creatures for now, but still gotta deal with the strange hive that seems to have powers of its own. At least it seems like we got a little new luck on our side. I haven't told you about my new friendship with Nock. Yeah, that Nock. The Arch Existence. He's been helping me out lately, doing favors to help me in the wrong turn stay alive. I never would have survived Carnivale or fighting with Auntie Thunder without him. I've, been helping him too. Finding things, unlocking things. He recently offered me a favor to help him open a box somewhere someday. I guess I know now what his favor to me was. Ma, I know you really wanted me to be able to do magic like you. I'm sorry I never got the hang of it. But I think that's all changing now, thanks to Nock. I think you'd like him, actually. Maybe when we find you, I can introduce you someday. We've got to get rid of these strange hives still and figure out what they are and who's down here poisoning people with that ichor. I just hope we don't have to get any wetter than we already are. Don't worry, Mom. As soon as we fix the water, we'll get back to trying to find out what Thunder did to you. And now, next time she shows her face, I'll be more ready than ever to slice it up for you. See you soon, I promise. Your little moonbeam.
Oh no!
And we're back.
Good thing we've got captions.
And we're back.
That's
We are
true.
going to jump right into combat. Everybody, the commander died last time, and all the hive creatures died. The hive itself is still pulsing and beating, though. And Blossom is up top of the order.
Okay, I will, because I can now, use my bonus action to pop my hex over from the dead priest or whoever to I guess one of the people around King Jax, whoever's closest to me. And
They're
I
all
will-
dead. It's literally just the hive.
Oh, those are still up? It is still just the hive, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
So the hive is over here, then I will
It's
hex the
this-
hive.
This big gross thing.
The one like right near, right? Okay,
Yeah.
that is even better then. Yeah, okay, that's easy. I will hex it, move over, and I will take my attack at it along with my hex damage.
All right.
And I'm going to hex the dex ability. I don't know if it
Okay.
matters because it's a fucking hive, but
Yeah, that's a very dexterous hive.
It has a 0 in
Uh,
dexterity.
that's a 16 to hit. Oh wait, no, 17 because it's a +1 weapon now.
That hits.
Huzzah! And that's gonna be 8 plus 8 piercing. Wait, no, 9 piercing. I keep forgetting to add the +1. Sorry, 9 piercing plus 5 necrotic for the hex.
Okay. You plunge your rapier into one of the gross pulsing pods on the outside, and this like film kind of evaporates over it as you pierce it. And inside, you see the hive deflates as soon as you hit it, and you think, "Did I kill it? Like, is it dead?" It stopped beating, and you see this humanoid figure with like pale yellow skin curled up inside of one of these circles, kind of fetal position.
There's something in there.
But that ends combat, so we really left off in the middle of combat.
We really did.
Hey,
Holy moly.
Quick question, Chris.
Yeah.
Where were we on the horsemen front? Did we kill all of them, or just the 2? Or
You did kill all 4 of them.
Yeah, we
Okay.
got
we
We're
got
the
'em.
best.
woo!
Yeah,
Super
that-
competent.
loose end tied up. Hell yeah. I mean, there may or may not be a war going on in the other continent, but loose end tied
Nah.
up. We got one of them.
That's not our fault.
We started a war and we left.
Busy.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, as the pod kind of deflates, you see that there's like 8 little circles on the outside. And there's 8 separate pods now, and they all kind of open up, and this like unconscious body falls out of all 8 of them. The hive itself has deflated, and it kind of gave way to this cave behind it.
There's a cave behind the hive?
Yep.
Ah, well, didn't
That's-
expect that.
That's gross.
Is everyone, are y'all alright? King Jax, looks like you were, took quite a whaling right there. You feeling okay?
I think I'll be okay. Hot beams.
Well, I want to check these bodies. Are they human? Do they look like the things we just fought?
Yeah, what happened to this big
Um,
priest guy that we were standing next to?
Go ahead and
Super
make
dead.
a medicine check. Anyone who wants to on any of these.
Oh, that's not
I'm
good.
so good
I
at
can
that.
All
do
right,
that,
roll
but-
20. Bear with me here. Oh boy, I actually have proficiency in medicine.
15.
Don't ask me why.
14.
Holy moly, that's a 23.
23. And you both are examining the bodies that fell out of the hive, or one of the commanders?
I'm examining the commander that I'm standing next to right here.
Okay,
In roll 20.
And Blossom, you're investigating one of the bodies from the hive.
Yeah, 14.
Okay. Okay, we'll do Blossom first. So Blossom, you walk over, and the body that has fallen out has slightly pointed ears. You can't really tell how it died, but you can tell it's been dead a long time. Like, this isn't like yesterday. This is probably like at least a year. But it's not decaying is the strange part.
Ugh.
You can tell that this is a Githyanki.
Okay.
They have that pale greenish skin. I'm trying to I don't think you guys have met any Githyanki.
We
but-
have.
Have you? Okay.
There's one in the brass chapter.
You're right. Yep.
Oh yeah,
so
that's right.
Good call. So
No,
your
I
mind
forgot.
kind of blinks back to that person.
That's the one thing I'll ever remember in this.
Yeah,
so
they were like
I'm
one of
glad
the
we used it
people-
now.
One of the people who's like on the council of it or whatever, I think,
Yep.
right?
Yes,
Yep.
you're right. Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
So you know this is a Githyanki, and you kind of look around. There is also another body next to the Githyanki, and this is a Drow elf. You can instantly recognize that as Kit is a Drow elf. And they all seem to be either Githyanki or Drow.
Oh, weird.
Yarmir, you walk over and you're kind of kicking at the the body of the commander.
The best autopsy.
Yeah, the fleshy exterior to her like rotting, gross skin. You kind of kick it to the side, and you see that she as well has a pointed ear, and she used to be a Drow. Before whatever took over her tissue.
She looks noticeably different from when we were fighting her. I mean, aside from the fact that she's now dead.
Yeah, the skin itself is kind of pulling back and exposing what used to be the person underneath.
Oh, weird.
Gross.
Well, this just gets grosser and grosser.
Yeah, I'd prefer if we don't stay too long in here. I'm squeamish enough as it is.
I don't know how we're gonna get out, though. I don't know if we'll be able to get back out through that freaking whirlpool thing. It was pretty high up.
Glad
don't
you
think-
remember that, because I don't.
I do. Chris,
Yeah.
does it look like there's an obvious way out of here?
There's the cave forward. It is obscured in, before you say dark vision, magical darkness. You can't see through it.
Actually, I have dark vision, by the way.
Yeah, even those with dark vision, you're having a tough time piercing like through this little like line of fog almost. Other than that, there's no real exit.
Well, I guess the only way out is to keep moving forward. We gotta find out who's or what is doing all this stuff anyway. It's gonna be the only way to stop the river from getting poisoned, I guess.
Mhm.
And we saw a few rooms ago that like ichor pool, it was dripping into the river, right?
It was, yes.
I forget, did it look like that was like being intentional, or did it look like just sort of decay from like time and weathering or something?
The contamination itself didn't look on purpose, or intentional, but the placement was a little suspect because the hive was like right on top of it. So
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, we got to figure out who's putting all these weird things here and what the hell they are. Guess we'll keep on moving forward. I'll start.
There's a way out over there.
I don't know any other way out, so might as well keep going, right? This thing's got to be like hiding something. They wouldn't
Right
just
behind
put
you.
this big old thing there for no reason, right?
It could be where it fit in the room.
Yeah, it's just the room's feng shui for down here.
I wasn't even saying feng shui, but that works too. In a
All
previous
right.
life, I was an interior decorator.
You know, the ancient elven practice of feng shui.
I like the
Um,
concept that Yarmir is an interior decorator.
I
do
love
too.
this, and that needs to be a new background.
Yeah, that's canon. Sorry,
Make it so.
I've commandeered your character.
He's mine now. All right, so we're heading down the recently exposed cave.
Mhm.
I suppose
Okay.
so. I will keep an eye out for traps.
Okay. Make an investigation check.
I will be the big muscle behind everybody.
Makes sense.
Nat 20, yo.
Nice.
Plus something? Nope, just kidding.
Okay,
Oh,
so
+1.
so no traps, but you do step in something really gross. You look down and the floor kind of sticks up, and you see this red like ooze substance. And it just goes on this whole hallway. You see the floor is completely this red ooze, and your foot, you rest your boot there for a little bit, and it sinks in a little unnervingly far before you pull it out.
I like wiggle my claws a little
Don't
bit.
like that.
Because my boots like kind of like wrap
that.
around my like cat feet. So
Yeah.
my claws are still like out. And I'm like, this is do not like any of this.
Well, let's
if-
just keep walking then. And
If I like look down at it, does it look like it's blood or something? Like weird congealed blood?
Make a nature check.
Blossom's kind of freaked out about weird red substances showing up in strange places right now.
I think everyone is.
That would be a dirty or synthetic 20.
Yes. So your mind again flashes back to the bookends, and when you were celebrating candle nights, the random ooze monster that Mr. Micah threw out of his vial.
Oh,
no!
That's like Blossom will say that. Oh no.
What is it, Blossom?
Hey, so y'all remember that weird like oops ooze that Mr. Micah found that
Oh,
kind of
the
nearly
oops
killed all of
ooze.
us?
You mean the big jelly?
You mean the reason why Mr. Micah's in jail?
Yeah, I'll kind of try to
Yeah.
like scoop some of it up with like one of my non-magic daggers to see if it it damages the metal at all, and B, just to like show it to people.
It does not damage the middle.
I waft it to get a smell of it.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh,
Oh
God.
no.
Bad idea.
Oh,
Bad idea.
now you fucked up.
That's a 9.
you
throw
really
up.
fucked up.
It
It smells as bad as it looks.
Y'all
does not. Well, let's just say it don't smell like a good old pot of beans.
You know, I have to ask, why beans?
Well, beans are delicious, and plus, we are taught to be good little furball boys, girls, and little children. So we were taught not to say things like shite, arse, and fuck.
That was-
There
He
you go.
said
I
it.
knew you had it in you,
He
buddy.
said it.
You just said those things.
Oh, beans! Ugh.
There it is.
King Jax, you're an adult and you can say whatever the hells you want, all right?
Well, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna just also, while I'm at it, just put a second level cure wounds into myself. I'm gonna just kind of hold up my injured
Ooh.
shoulder and just
Yeah.
heal myself because
Give
I could
yourself
really
a
use
nice
it.
hug.
I am giving myself a big hug right now because on a scale of 1 to 62, I'm at about a 20.
I
Oh, damn.
Wow.
love that saying.
I didn't realize you were looking that rough. That was why I asked how everybody was feeling. Damn
It's
it,
okay, I
King
get
Jax.
17 hit points back.
I'm at 69.
Nice.
Nice. So you continue down
For
the hallway.
adults. Yeah, keep
Okay.
going.
You continue down the hallway, and
Very
it's
cautiously.
yeah, it kind of curves a little bit to the right in like a crescent, and you walk around and you see what appears to be a locked black stone door with a golden frame. There's clearly a padlock on the outside, not trying to hide the fact that this is a locked door.
Are there any other pathways, or is this the only way through?
This is the only way through.
Well, Miss Rogue, I think this is
Oh, yeah,
I
sorry.
think this is your doing.
Sam was distracted for a second.
Yarmir
Yeah, all right,
punches
I'll-
the door.
Yarmir.
I cast fist.
The best spell.
All right, yeah, well, I'll take a crack at it.
Alright.
I will first just check to make sure it's not like dispelled or anything. Because did we see? We already passed like one weird door that had a spell on it, I think,
You
right?
did.
Probably.
Yeah. Make an
Well-
investigation check first.
Before I just go like touching
Mhm.
things, I can learn. That's another natural 20.
Wow.
Holy shit!
Nice.
Oh
nice.
my god.
The
Well, there they are. You used them all now.
I know
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
all
stop,
done
stop
now.
taking all the nat 20s.
No more for us.
You cautiously reach out and touch the padlock. Then you kind of look around and you lift up the padlock, and you do see that the gold trim that kind of twines under or twists underneath of it. The entire gold trim looks a little suspect to you, but it's not a mechanical trap. It's definitely something of the arcane variety.
Man, I really wish we had our friendly neighborhood wizard with us. Hey, King Jax or Aurora, either of you got any idea what this is? Is this gonna like blow me up if I try to pick the lock or something? Or
What am I, chopped liver?
GM.
Yaramir, what are your thoughts?
Make an Arcana check, King Jax.
Oh, I don't know anything about magic. I just wanted to feel.
Aurora will assist you. Go ahead, make advantage.
Yeah, sure, why not? Yeah, I'm glad I got a dirty 20.
30-20. Wow, good rolls tonight.
After the 9
Don't
con.
say that. No.
I know it's all downhill from here.
No.
This is a polymorphing trap. It is
Oh.
best to be disarmed with a dispel magic. Any other way, you don't see any mechanical means of destroying this.
Well, crap.
Well,
Yeah.
oh, beans.
Anyone wanna try their hand at just like poking it with a stick or something?
Why don't you poke it with... Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you were going
We
around like
have a
pulling levers and
volunteer.
stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's gonna be
I
a
pulled
good
the
idea.
one lever, and I get known as the guy who pulls levers.
Well,
Wrong lever, Yaramir!
you made like a whole to-do out of being the one to get to pull it, so I mean...
Adrian like comes up and unsheathes her sword and she's like, all right, what am I poking?
Headlock.
All right, poke it with the sword.
Okay, make a
Poke it with the
Constitution saving
sword.
throw.
That wasn't an expensive sword, was it?
Not anymore.
No, this was just
Not
again me.
anymore.
She as she's going to reach for it, she's like, no, this was a gift from Thane.
Let's throw it out.
Yeah, get it out of here.
13.
13.
Oh, actually, don't you have the jelly sword, though?
Yeah, you do. There is a flash of purple light, and instead of Adrian, you now see in front of you this glowing blue creature. Instead of Adrian's armor, you now see blue bandages wrapping her entire body, and behind her is like an hourglass floating in the center of what can now be described as a mummy.
Ah.
I'm a mummy. Wait a second.
Just as she did that, Sam had an
Shield mummy.
idea. And
Aw.
I'm sorry, totally forgot I have cantrips now, y'all. Mage Hand could have been really helpful just then.
That's when you
Blossom
cast Mage
doesn't know
Hand
how
and
to use
kind
her
of
shit yet.
very meekly wave.
You wait a beat, and Adrian is transformed back to herself.
How long did it take?
6 seconds. It wasn't a full polymorph spell.
Just enough to
Okay.
mess with you.
But the gold trim has now faded, and the lock is no longer on the door. It has fallen off to the ground, and the door kind of creaks open on its own a little bit.
Good job, Adrian.
Yeah, how do you feel?
Kind of taste blueberries a little bit.
Huh.
I kind of wished I poked the padlock now.
You were just oh my god, Yaramir. I'm just shaking my head.
Now that I
No,
know
no,
it
no,
can
no,
send
no,
me
no.
across the room.
Yarmir, I'm the poking guy. You're the lever guy.
I can work with that.
Know your
Alright.
place. Alright, so I guess might as well keep going. I'll keep leading the way looking for traps like I've been doing, especially now that I know magic-y things are about.
Okay. You
Magic is
enter.
afoot.
You enter into the room, and it's a circular study. The only reason you can tell it's even a study is because there are hundreds and hundreds of pieces of crumpled up paper on the ground. There is a fire that is long gone out. The wood is charred to a crisp, but there is also a black wooden desk next to the fire. On top of it is just a simple quill in an ink pot, and another dozens and dozens of papers litter the desk as well.
I would like to take a look at the papers currently on the desk first.
Okay. You walk over to the one on the desk. There is one that is kind of in the center, and then there's like 11 on the sides. The one in the center is less crumpled than the others. It's kind of like half open still. And you make out a few words without touching it. It says like the word ninth comes up a lot. But without unfolding it, it's kind of hard to read the whole thing.
I'll unfold it.
All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy.
I'm gonna release it to your handouts, everybody. But I will
Oh.
also read it to the stream.
Ooh. Don't forget
Yeah.
to post that shiz in the Discord.
Oh,
Discord
it's
it.
just a copy pasta. Hold on.
What
Copy
the fuck?
pasta.
Anytime
Good
I
old
hear
copy
somebody
pasta.
call something a copy pasta, I just immediately think it's gonna be the
Is
Navy
it this
SEALs
ninth
one.
founding family thing?
That would be the episode title.
That is a lot of nines.
I see what he did there.
Okay, I will read it for the stream. Everyone will know of the 8 founding families, but when Estetia created the 8, there was a 9th, the De Runes. The 9th was shunned from the beginning by the 8 for being different. Every family had a job in the New World. The 9 were assigned to explore the parallel planes. The 5 members of the 9 were exploring the depths of the underworld when a glowing white stone was discovered. As the 9 explored other planes, they began to appreciate the strength and majesty of the creatures they discovered. When the 8 found the 9's white glowing stone, they grew jealous of it. The 8 stole the stone from the 9, and in the process killed the 9's youngest daughter, our sweet Rose. The 8 began to erase the 9 from books and tomes, claiming their discoveries for their own. The 9, depraved and discarded for their own genius, found a solution. The 9 retreated to the underworld and searched for more glowing stone. The stone revealed itself to the 9 and showed them a solution. The 9 expired that night of their own accord, to be reborn in a new improvised image. Father, mother, eldest, and middle will avenge the youngest. The Rose will have her revenge, and history will be corrected. Everyone will know of the 9 and their contributions. The next word, it looks like a new sentence would have been started, but the word the has been written and the E is slightly off, and it has been crumpled up. If you walk around and look at the rest of them, it is the same rendition of this, just crumpled up whenever a mistake was made. And I'm not talking like the wrong word, I'm talking like a slight error in writing. It's just a little bit off, and it got crumpled up and tossed aside.
Okay.
So,
It's in common, right?
It is.
I
I
know
speak
I'm
common.
not there, but might I posit a theory or two?
Sure.
The Rose shall have her revenge.
Yep.
Get that one?
Yep.
All right.
That was there. That was a thing.
What it
That is
said.
Mhm.
I'm sure it's fine. Totally
Sure, it's
fine.
completely unrelated.
Yeah, for chat who hasn't been here before, we are also currently trying to unravel the mystery of a strange rose disease.
Yeah.
And a rose crest, and
Okay, it took me that long to get that. Thank you.
we
So
And,
whenever you
um,
address the chat to explain something, also address me, I guess.
that's a mood.
Oh, at the bottom, it is signed RDR.
Yeah, I'm feeling this might have something to do with that crest
Wait.
we found.
Do
Rose
we
de
have
Rune?
another letter or something with initials, or am I thinking of a different letter?
You do have a crest that was on your aunt's cloak that it was a D and an R.
A D and an R.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's
Do I-
gotta be Daroon.
It's in
It-
hand.
it must
it's in
be,
handouts.
'cause- I recognized it as a symbol of an ancient family, but I couldn't place which one.
Well,
I'll just
So
cast
Assuming-
sending. I'm just gonna
assuming-
cast sending, so Bryn's in on the
Yep.
loop.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah, let her over the phone and let her know we're stuck underground. Is she
Also,
okay?
how do we have signal?
well, I only get 25 words. Take it easy there. All right.
Ask her if she knows what those great things were. I'm just still yelling like over King Jax.
If you'd like to increase your text limit, please contact your nearest provider.
Yeah.
And visit the nearest Sprint
God,
store.
it's me, Jax. I'd like to talk to you about my cell phone plan.
Boolin, we really need to talk about this sending plan that you have. It's killing me. It's murdering me.
The rest of you kind of kicking around while Blossom unfolds this letter finds that some of them are not the same sentence structure and words that whoever is writing this has been writing. One of them is a completely separate note to somebody else. If you'd like to make an investigation check, anybody, to kind of uncover the latest note, you can.
Sure.
Make an attempt.
An attempt
Nope.
will be made.
Nope.
Ooh, this dice is about to get retired. That's an 8.
That's a pretty low DC, but you still managed to miss it.
Womp.
Defeat.
I'm assuming because I'm busy with the other letter, I don't notice.
No, you can do it too. It's fine.
Oh
You-
yeah.
Yeah, you have your time here.
I also doesn't make a difference. I'm really distracted thinking about that letter. That was a 5. Damn, y'all. See, we used all the good ones.
With your 8 though, you do look over and there is another door. It's not trying to hide it or anything. There just is another door in this room. So King Jax, you notice that. Everybody else, all you see is just it's not even the ramblings of a madman. The thought is very coherent. It's just restarted every time there is a simple little error. If an E is slightly sideways, it's crumpled up and discarded and tossed aside. If he spells a word wrong or she spells a word wrong, it is crumpled up and tossed aside.
Well, whoever wrote this was very particular about the language they were using, and they were kind of very particular about the grammar and making sure it's correct. Of course, I'm having a hard time reading it alone because my common's not very good.
You're doing great, King Jax. It does seem like they were a bit of a perfectionist, though.
Does this one say beans here? No.
No.
Oh, that says Daroons. Oh.
It doesn't even look
beans.
anything like beans.
The R's got that like weird little curve at the bottom. Could be a B. I don't know. Like he's just got hit in the head like a lot.
King Jax with his very high passive perception.
Wait, hold on. Rose to runes, RDR. Isn't that what the most complete one signed?
That's what we said.
Well, I feel stupid now. I just got
We're all just looking at each other, repeating each other 5 seconds
just like-
later.
Yarmir has been in like deep contemplation for the last like 3 minutes.
All right.
He's still sad he
Staring
didn't
at
get to
this.
touch the lock.
First of all, we need to get in contact with Mr. Micah soon because he has got some explaining to do.
He does.
And then we need to go back and talk to Mr. Atticus Finch.
Acrelius.
Oh, Acrelius. Yes, we need to talk to Mr. Acrelius Finch. Because
back at the
Yeah, but to do
the
that,
library.
we gotta go back into the city.
Let's
I
let's,
could just send him a mind message.
didn't you just do that? Don't you
I
have a
could do-
limited amount of those?
I still got like 1 or 2 more in me
Yeah,
still.
but we still gotta get back out of here. We should.
I'd like to make sure that we
probably-
get out of this in one piece before we
Let's-
start sending instant
Yeah.
messages to everyone all over the
Let's hang off on the text until we get out of here.
Oh,
It was good to
okay.
check in with Bryn though, because maybe she can find out something or come meet us, or I don't know.
Well, if anyone can figure out the pieces to this puzzle, it is the resident Pyro.
Right? I'm gonna take the
I
letter.
don't quite follow that logic, but okay.
I'm gonna take the letter and the second one we found, and just for like examples, I'll grab some of the discarded ones so we can like actually show Bryn what everything looks
Okay.
like.
Yep, as many as you want.
Does the desk have any drawers or anything? I'd like to look
Make an
and
investigation check.
see if I find like a secret compartment or something. Ah, it's just a 12.
Nope, not to the best of your ability.
All right. Is there another door in here?
Yes.
I couldn't.
I knew that one.
Good job.
And I came up with that in the proper time span too.
Yarmir's looking at the door. Hey, guys.
Yaramir, it's okay. We're
We
all
love it,
trying our
Yaramir.
best. It's okay. It's been quite the day. I understand.
Yeah, Blossom is also still totally soaking wet and grumpy about it too.
I'm
You know what?
sorry.
That's valid.
Look,
She's not saying anything, but she is pouting. anytime
Kane Jack's
she's
gonna
not
walk up
talking.
to Blossom sheepishly. Blossom, I would like to, live sister. I would like to thank you for, well, I know how much you don't like the water, and well, you kind of dove head first in probably for me, and it means a lot to me.
It's all right. King Jack's all like pat his shoulder. It's just try not to go like running off like that too much. I'll dove in this time for you. I can't make any promises I'll do that again.
No, I understand. Like my reckless nature got the better of me. I'll try to think clearer in the future. I know usually we save the reckless headlong charging in for Shield Mom, but
Well,
and we all know Adrian can handle herself. Like if it was just her, she would have just.
Well, it's just as well. I don't think we would have found any of the stuff if you didn't get sucked down there anyway. So I guess it worked out.
Yeah, but I'm a little concerned about our friend Mr. Micah and what kind of strange experiments he's been getting up to.
I mean, he said, if memory serves, it's been a while, and I've definitely taken a couple of whacks to the head myself since then. But if memory serves, he'd gotten the deal through like somebody he was speaking to just in like mental send-ins and stuff. So I don't know if he knows too much about him anyway.
He said he bought it from a man named Griff in Merville.
Griff.
Well, usually you have to have
I had Maywood down.
You usually have to have a good idea of who you're talking to or who you are in contact with when you send these messages to them. At least that's how it works for me. Like I can't just like send message to like random person number 343.
No, that's reasonable, I guess.
Well,
Yeah, I don't know.
how well acquainted do you have to be with somebody? Do you just have to meet them once, shake their hand, and learn their name, or do you have to form a deep emotional bond with them?
Oh, I just have
Like,
to,
if you have like their signature from a letter or something, would that be enough? Like,
I just have to
somebody's
be
handwriting?
familiar.
A little
with,
bit
like,
of their hair.
like
Now
maybe
you're
like
getting creepy.
I just have to be familiar with them. I don't have to be like best buddies with them.
All right,
Imagine if I had to be friends with everyone they sent messages to. Ugh.
but you've had to have like spoken to them or something.
Spoken to
before?
him and seen them at least. So Mr. Micah, it's
Okay.
possible he has met this individual in the past, unless they are individual of higher power, like our friend Arcrelius.
And is it possible that these messages can be intercepted? That's also a question.
Oh
Uh,
man.
Meta.
DM, is it possible that these sending messages could be intercepted, especially between gnomes that share a hive
Oh.
mind?
Make an Arcana check.
I stumbled
Actually,
on the
you know-
right answer.
You figured it out. So
You figured it
I
out.
Yeah.
Thank you for the deductive.
You're
Good
welcome.
call, Patches.
Yeah.
Nux to Yaramir.
That was a little bit too meta for Yarmir to piece that one together.
That was like
He's
a
wise,
team.
right?
That was a team deduction. That was like team deduction. Well, now that you
know,
mention it,
in
Mr.
this
Yaramir.
in this setting, gnomes, just for the chat, if they're not familiar, they have a hive mind. That's one of their racial abilities. So they can all kind of talk to each other. It does kind of work like sending, though. They have to be somewhat familiar with each other. But for gnomes, it's not as familiar as the sending spell.
Well,
So if
Yar-
they have just seen somebody, that might suffice.
well, Yaramir, it is possible since our acquaintance, our friend Mr. Micah, he is a gnome. If his in contact is also a gnome,
So is there like some gnome weapon supplying rig that we're stumbling upon here?
Maybe there's a gnomish black market.
Aren't we delivering a letter at some point?
We did that already.
Hey, Adrian, do you know anything?
I'm more just
You
elaborating.
feeling okay,
How
Aramir?
much
Like,
this
medicine
particular.
check.
Adrian.
Yeah,
Adrian-
if you want to make a
Adrian-
medicine check, go for it.
Adrian has this like expression on her face, like the floating math numbers gif. Math lady.
Adrian,
Gnomes.
you're more wise and experienced in the ways of the world.
Uh-huh.
Do you have any ideas?
I don't know any of this hocus pocus magic stuff.
Oh, beans. You're right. You're really good at hitting stuff.
Yeah.
Nah, we gotta get back to Bryn if we need help with any of this magic-y thing. She might know something.
Yeah, Bryn's the nerd. She's got this.
You know, she doesn't like it when you call her that, right?
We can figure
Well,
out
it's
what
a
we're going to
compliment
tell
when we tell
who
her she's a nerd.
and what we're going to do with that information later. Right now, we should probably focus on getting out of here alive.
Yeah.
That's a good plan. Good plan. Yeah. All right, let's get out of here.
Yeah, so Yaramir is going to take point as we go through the other door.
It is
boy.
unlocked, untrapped. You swing it open, and there is an identical study. There are hundreds of papers littered again on the floor, all crumpled up. There is a somewhat finished one on the desk. It's kind of the same thing, but it is a completely different note, not saying the same words.
I'm going to go over and touch that.
Yeah, what's it say?
Sign
Okay.
it out.
It says, and this is actually sealed into. There's an envelope on the table with a Darun crest again.
Yeah, pulling that shit apart.
Yeah, so
It's
you.
the rose, right?
It just says DR.
Oh, okay.
So you go to open it. There's nothing in the envelope. It almost looks like it was sealed. They thought about it. It wasn't exactly how they wanted the letter. They took the letter back out and rewrote it because there is a crumpled piece of paper next to the envelope. This one reads, Zagrathus, the lady and her son have been disposed of. No one watches over the water of Albion. Spread your beautiful brood across the continent. Our time will come soon. Begin work on your bell as soon as possible. That one I
Do
don't
not
have
like.
for the chat.
Do not like.
I'll post it.
Not a fan. Not a fan of this.
Yeah, I'm hard dislike on that.
Well, this
Nope from
this
me.
river, it was blessed by that. Was it a fae or an arch existence that you said, Aurora? Because I think it was Aurora who told us about it first.
It's an arch existence, yes.
Okay. So it says
Whatever happened to that arch existence?
she died a few years ago, and her son was like her heir or something. But he Eli said he went off with a group of weirdos or something.
I'd put some gold down on that son no longer being with us.
That sounds reasonable. Maybe, but it does seem
That's what-
like.
That's what this letter says, at least.
I mean, it says spread your brood. That's creepy and gross as fuck sounding, y'all.
I don't think we
think-
can say that on television.
It's a good thing we're not on television.
FCC.
Do y'all think? Y'all think the people who are drinking the water till now, are they gonna come back or something? Like these people? We know Felicity rose that village or something, but all the people we found down here are covered in that other gunk and.
You know what? If they're dead,
Maybe it's-
I want them to stay that way. I am not a fan of this reviving the dead thing.
There
No,
is.
I'm right on there. I'm right on board
I'm
with
not
you there.
super into it. Kind of
Maybe
creepy.
maybe what's in the water is not enough to fully turn somebody into something like this. But it's
There is a staircase in this room leading up,
Oh.
and you can see light from
Lovely,
above the stairs.
lovely storyteller GM,
Is it-
Chris. Can I make a check on Zagrathus?
Sure. Make a
you were
history.
I
buttering him up just so he'd say yes.
Make a history check.
The light that we see, does it look like torchlight? Is it flickering or is it steady daylight?
It's steady daylight.
Oh, alright.
Ooh, a 17.
Nice.
What can I say about Zagrathus?
You can say
Um,
everything about Zagrathus if you don't mind.
I will give you that Zagrathus is in this setting, a traditionally Githyanki name.
So this Zagrathus person, probably Githyanki. Judging from the way the name sounds and the Githyanki language, I suppose. But
Well,
Do you think
that's disappointing because the only Yankee I know I kind of liked.
Well, I mean,
Also, she's across the other continent.
also we found all the dead one like back there.
I don't know any of them though,
Well, yeah, but I don't know.
and it's also tough for them to be doing anything like killing people when they're also dead.
Well, maybe something went wrong. All this stuff looks like it's been abandoned for a while. Can we, if we look at like the fireplace or whatever that we found, can we try to determine how long it's been since it was lit?
Sure. Make a nature check.
I'm so good at those. 5.
5. It's been a while. Definitely burnt out.
Can I stick my finger in it?
Definitely a fireplace.
Doesn't hurt. You
It's-
don't get transported this time.
I forgot that was the other time I stuck my finger in the fire.
Oh yeah! God damn it! I'm detecting a pattern here. All right. Well, I think we might as well get the hells out of here before anything else comes chasing after us.
Looks like our exit straight up. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that like to be hip and with it. I'm saying that like it's straight up and on top of us.
Oh yeah. I mean, it looks like that's daylight.
Okay, so climb the stairs. You find yourself in an old
If you say study, I swear to God.
wooden home.
Thank
But
you.
it has been burned down. The wood is charred. And you look outside and you see the Concords. And this is the so-called haunted house that you are now in that they told you about last time you talked to them.
I forget. Did he like give us the family name of the house last time? Like,
He
I
did
just remember
not.
him mentioning it burned down.
He did
And
not.
who's he here? The old guy that was
Eli,
really
yep.
cranky, right?
He wasn't cranky.
He wasn't crazy. He was cool. I liked Eli.
Who's the cranky one?
There's a lot. Cal? Yana?
Pick one.
I'm getting storyline creep here. Especially because it's been so long.
For the sake of not having Lucy just sit here all session, we're gonna say that in King Jax's sending spell, he told you that they needed your help, so you went to the Concords.
Reasonable.
Meet up at the old burned house. Stop.
Listen, I have a thing about fire. Makes sense.
Yep.
probably go find Eli. He'll show you the way.
Oh, that's true, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Bryn, you meet him up in the town. Well, you're in the Concords at least. How would you guys and girls like to get out of this house?
It's burned down, right?
Yes, there are guards facing towards you,
Oh,
monitoring
Oh.
the home from the town, not the town
that's a
from the home.
problem.
Should I distract
And
Excuse
unfortunately,
me, good working security personnel.
I mean, they may probably saw us walk by with Eli like a couple hours ago.
We were investigating down below, and our investigation's complete, and we're ready to report to Eli.
They kind of, they're both like wide-eyed at you, like they've never seen. They were instructed to guard this house from literal ghosts. So seeing you four walk out of it, they're kind of like ready, like eyes wide with their swords and shields kind of shaking. And then you four walk out and they're like, okay, it's like a younger guy. Yeah, I'll take it to Eli, I guess. I gotta confirm that you're telling the truth, but
What's wrong with you?
well, you're not dead, are you? Like you're living?
You
Fucking better
look like
not
you-
be.
You look like you've seen a ghost.
Well, that's,
Ah!
I'm not sure if you're trying to make it like a joke here, but we were supposed to protect this.
Adrian's
From
really
ghosts.
funny.
Yeah, I could tell.
No, Adrian's completely serious.
Oh, should I use my magic to make the wind blow? That'd be
No.
Yes.
Nah, don't
Not
scare him.
even.
That's how we get like pumped full of crossbow
Not
bolts
even
or
a little
something.
bit.
Let's just let him go find Eli.
Bryn,
what is your
you walk
deal with
by.
authority?
You walk by and you see this scene. Meeting up with your friends, they are already being talked
What
to
did
by
you all
guards.
do?
We're the best.
We found herself in a restricted location
Hi, Bruce.
accidentally.
Hello, Blossom.
Bryn, we missed you.
Yes,
We
I
found some
got your message.
weird shit underneath the burned out house there.
I got papers for you to look at.
Well, you
We're,
picked some up
Can
good.
we? I'm like to the guards, like, can we just like, nah, all right, just.
but Bryn,
we'll
did you
wait
get the
here.
little heart at the end of my message?
Yeah, somehow that translated. I don't know how that works.
That
but
costs a
I
word.
did get it. I appreciate the sentiment.
Bryn's like, I don't know what an emoji is, but yes.
The guards eventually let you
XO.
go. As you keep talking to them, they're like, yeah, they're definitely not ghosts. I guess we let them by. They kind of
Even
look at
if
each
we're
other.
ghosts, we are very non-lethal ghosts.
Hmm
All right. So.
I'm gonna read the stuff Blossom gave me and get angry.
Okay,
Yeah,
you
I'm
read it
passing
all.
it all over.
You read it all. If you need a refresher, it's in the Discord.
Do I recognize also that that's a Githyanki name?
King Jax will probably just tell
I was
you.
gonna say we
Alright,
can
you
provide
just-
I'm just
any.
tell
filling
me.
her in on
Great.
everything.
We yeah.
Just act like you were there, but you weren't.
Right. We're so
Remember
good at
that
catching.
time?
We're so good at catching you up on things. It's like you were there.
I'm
Um,
rereading the notes, so that's just why I'm staring intently at my screen.
You guys ran into like tentacly monsters, right? Last time?
They did.
Yeah, we
Did
ran
you
into.
ever- Identify what they were?
Nah, none of us rolled enough. Meta knowledge, we know. Player knowledge, not.
Someone want to fill me in on the meta knowledge?
Agora's growls happened.
They were grells. They were giant brain birds.
Bird brains.
Excellent.
hmm
But yeah, none of us were able to identify them. There was also a door with a language nobody could read.
Huh.
What language was it again? Out of
Abyssal,
Character?
I think?
Undercommon.
oh,
Undercommon.
I
Undercommon.
don't speak that.
Just making shit up, don't mind
Nobody does.
And then also we fought an animated suit of armor.
Which Adrian is now wearing.
Oh yeah, that should be in
Yep.
your roll 20, Abby.
Oh yeah, Adrian's like looking cool as fuck right now.
She
Is
always
she like
does.
attunes to it yet? Because I assume it needs
Fly
that, and it's
as
like at
hell.
some point it just shrank to fit her.
Yep, that's what happened.
If you remember that one episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender where Aang is like wearing that suit of
I'm
armor.
Tokyo's armor.
Yeah, no, not Kyoshi's armor. Like the whole like
Oh, the
the
big.
giant armor.
Oh yeah,
That's
like
it.
when they're
never-
shopping, right?
I never had the
Yeah.
attention span for that show.
Oh, so good.
Oh, it's so good.
It just basically Adrian looks like a chaos space marine right now.
Pretty much.
Oh, damn.
Here for it.
All right, so what do you all want to do? You're in this town. You have all this new information. Aurora also told you about a cave with a pool in it and a guy standing with
Yes.
a crest on his
Hi,
armor.
that sounds important.
Where was that in relation to us, though? It was like in an opposite direction from the Emberglade, right?
Yeah, it'd probably be about 3 hours away. It was kind of like on an angle, so you're not too far.
All right.
I'd
All
like
right.
to ask somebody about this house that's got a secret passage down to the fucking place everything is weird and messed up.
Eli also
have-
told you he'd probably pay you, so.
I have a
Oh,
feeling
Definitely
that,
want to go there.
We need that.
I gave all my money to Adrian a few sessions ago. Blossom is broke AF.
Adrian has like been slowly slipping coins back like in Blossom's pockets.
I don't think with my passive, I don't know, we would have to like passive sleight of hand.
All right. I've got a few more messages. We could send a message to Archelius. I could also contact Keith in case we do need to be traveling. We could get a hold of Keith and set up some transport.
You just want to talk to Keith.
I do want to
Transport?
talk to
Why?
Keith.
Wait, we're not going on a boat anywhere. What? We gotta stay here. That's where the things are. Here on this
He-
continent,
He
not
just
across
wants
the
to
ocean.
talk to Keith.
Blossom's like totally
he
panicked.
just wants to talk to Keith. That's it.
King Jack's Aurora's right there.
Well, the thing is we might need to go back.
Good, we should.
To the future.
Why?
Well, we need to go back because, well, that's where Mr. Micah is. That's where the weird goose stuff that existed. And
But we haven't found anything to exonerate him.
And the runes were here.
Do we need to exonerate him?
I mean, if we ever want healing jellies again, yeah.
Well, he's starting to look pretty guilty, if you ask me, right now.
Yeah, are we prepared to testify about his intent?
We don't know enough yet. That's why. All
No.
we did was find also this one leg Uzi thing that doesn't necessarily mean it's like his
Remember, Yarmir.
Uzi
I don't
thing.
think Yarmir was in the party yet when you guys first.
Yeah,
met
you
Mr.
were.
Micah. Was I?
Not when we first met him. No.
No. So
No,
all I know,
right.
all I
But
know is that
You
him.
were with us when we were partying with Mr. Micah, though.
Mhm.
That was when we met Yaromir.
Yeah, that would be it.
We were
So all I know of
trying to
him
hook him
as
up.
is that he was sloshed and then he released a jelly on us, and now this jelly's related to something
But sells
else.
us healing things too.
Allegedly sells us healing things.
We
I
have
don't know
used
that.
them.
He's cute.
He's
He
cute. That's
is cute.
And that's all that matters,
I,
really.
Sam, am just refusing to think that Mr. Micah could have anything to do with this.
And no, I don't, like, genuinely, I don't think he had anything to do with it. At least
No.
not intentionally.
no, not
oh,
intentionally,
yeah, no, definitely
but
not intentionally.
but unfortunately, the evidence is really stacked against him right now.
Yeah.
Genuinely, I don't think
No,
That
he's-
might
Can
be
we
a tough
just break
case to
him out and
crack.
relocate
Well,
him?
that's
Give him
no,
up
definitely
if
not.
he's innocent?
What's up?
Our
we just
audio
escape
just
with
went
him?
nuts. Sorry.
What do you mean our audio just went nuts?
Are we like
It
spiking
like
everywhere?
triple played. No. I opened a browser
Rude.
and it took us to our Twitch channel. Anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
Way to go, Chris.
Sorry, guys.
Right.
No, like real talk. Adrian is looking very intense. Well, more intense than usual. And yeah, she wants to go back.
What time is it right now? I guess it's daylight.
Yeah, it's like 3.
Bryn will
No,
absolutely
I'm,
refuse to leave before investigating the man in the cave.
We'll look into the cave, but perhaps some rest and respite is in order.
That's what I'm looking for.
Well, yeah, so I mean, I think we should head over to Eli's, let him know what we found, maybe collect a little bit of payment for our troubles.
See where he
And-
recommends to bunker down for the night and enjoy the satisfaction of a job well done.
Pretty much. Then tomorrow we can head out to that cave.
And
Very well.
have a smoke in the process.
Well, I mean, it goes without saying.
Get a job, you hippie.
This is our job.
I am a cleric of Bulin Yang and also a member of the Wrong Turns who are in the chapters of Brass. I have a job, thank you very much. I'm very well employed.
All right. Well, let's. I guess I'll start making my way over to Eli's place.
Okay.
I'm right behind you.
Okay.
Yep.
You make it back over, and the guards let you in, knowing you already. They lift you up on the big lift that Eli has in his house.
Oh, forgot about that.
Yep. And you make it up there, and you see all the gaudy taxidermy again. He has moved a few of them around. It's like he likes to play with them and kind of move them, and he can't really keep it just sitting there. So he turns around. He's dark skin, graying bald hair. He's in his wheelchair, and he turns around and he's like, "Hello, welcome back. Was everything successful?" He's kind of bumbling over his words, kind of surprised by you.
By the fact that we're still alive.
Yeah, probably a little
Excellent.
bit.
Like,
Well,
hey,
We killed some shit down there. I don't know if it's gonna help your water or not, but
Did you bring back a trophy? I would have if I was you.
we got all of
Scared
this.
away. I guess we have the papers.
Yeah, and all it's got like
I'll
pieces of
kind of-
like the
yeah.
ooze.
I'll kind of
Like-
lean into Blossom. Should we show him the papers?
I'll show like one of the like scratched out papers and be like, we found like some studies. It's really weird. We followed the crack in the river to a hole that had like these weird brain creatures, and there was this pool of ichor, which has to be sealed up, by the way. That's just not something that we can do. You're gonna have to like get people down there. But we killed all the baddies, so there's no more like monsters. But something's really weird is going on down there. There were like all these like bodies and creatures, and we found this room with a study and all these notes, and I'll like show him. Be like, it came out from underneath this that burned house that you showed us earlier. We were wondering, can you tell us about the family that used to live there? What happened?
Yes, of course I can. There used to be a Githyanki family living there. His name was Zagrathus, and he left about maybe 2 years ago. Memory serves.
2 years ago?
he left. He wasn't home when the house burnt.
Oh, all right.
I'm
'Cause
afraid.
the house burned for like 20 years, right?
Yes, the house burnt 20 years, and he lived here in different locations for a while, but that was his home, and he stayed here for 15 years, and then he eventually left a few years back.
Do you know where he went?
Oh, where does everyone go when they're tired of the Concords? The big city. He points over to Maywood.
Do you have any
Uh,
more details about the fire?
No, it was in the middle of the night. Zagrathus was on a business trip up to Zolomon, but
Was it ever suspicious? Perhaps there were thoughts of arson?
we didn't really investigate. We took Zagrathus' word for it that no one would do that to him, but he didn't seem too concerned. He just found new lodging.
Hmm.
Did he have any
Strange to
family?
me.
He did, but they passed in the fire.
Who were his family?
Oh, he had a wife. I believe they sired one child together. I think that's it.
And yet he seemed unconcerned by the fire that killed him?
Oh no, he was not unconcerned about the loss, but he didn't expect any foul play. These things just happen.
Hmm.
What kind of I guess business was the family involved in? Did they like do any kind of trade or crafting or anything?
Yes, they were guild artisans. I believe they were glass blowers by trade.
Just trying to figure out anything I can, really.
Sure, yes.
All right. Well, so if he headed off towards Maywood, you got any idea if he's like still in the neighborhood?
I honestly couldn't tell you. We were never very close.
Was he close with anybody in the town? Maybe like the Baroness or somebody?
No, he kind of kept to himself. It was, again, strength in numbers sort of thing. He brought a
Right.
few Githyanki with him when he migrated here, and we don't really ask a whole lot of questions.
Perhaps you should have.
I'm beginning to see that as well. Thank you. Thank you.
What happened to the Githyanki he brought with him?
Oh, I think they're still in town, but...
Do you know where we could
sorry.
find them?
No, that's not right. I think they left town as well, but I'm not sure. They didn't stay as long as he did. They were kind of drifters, were not as stable roots as Zagrathus.
Yeah, all right. Well, I think we're probably going to be, we were thinking about staying the night around the Concords. Is there someplace maybe like you can recommend, an inn or something?
Of course, the Shaggy Dragon is my favorite.
That sounds like my kind of place.
I'm here for it.
It's right across the bay there, and he calls the small river a bay. And you see on the next island over, it's a very wooded area, very classic, like rolling hills, D&D. And you do see a little, like from his little balcony, you see a little inn nestled in between two hills.
Okay. Awesome. Well, wonderful. Thank you, Eli. Now, before we go, there had been some mention, perhaps, of remunerations for the efforts and labor put forth in defeating the little beasties we found down
Oh, yes. Well, he's kind of rubbing the back of his neck. I didn't find as many dragon scales as you had asked for, but I did manage to find a couple. And he goes over to like his desk, and he pulls out a drawer, and he brings out 3 golden dragon scales.
Okay, Jax, I'll hold on to these, giving a very pointed look at Adrian. So, we have some that have a tend to
Vices. Of
yes,
some
vices.
sorts. Maybe not
I
as
don't know
good
what
with
you're
their.
talking about.
personal
Blossom's like
finances.
mid-drink, like, what?
I
Well,
don't know
I-
what you're talking about.
I don't care who
Wait a
has them
sec.
or what you do with them.
I
They're in your
swear.
hands now.
Talking about vices, Mr. Smokes like a casino.
Look,
Well, mine is more for a religious experience, thank you very much. I'm gonna just roll deception on that right now.
Yeah, I'll take
Go
an
for
insight
it.
against that.
21.
Okay,
Nice.
insight. Best I'm gonna be able to do is match that.
Natural 20.
That's all you
Let's see
need
the next one.
sometimes.
Oh, it's one off.
Oh,
Seems to be telling the truth. Vision quests, all that kind of stuff.
Vision quest.
seems
Well,
legit.
He is into
Eli
that weird mountain magic, so it could be
Eli
something
also
like
takes
that.
out a bag of coins and hands it to who is ever in front. It's
Probably
Hey.
me.
700 gold in there,
Shit,
Nice.
that's a lot.
and there's one platinum piece he kind of takes out of his pocket and like sheepishly drops into the bag.
It's like a tip.
Mhm.
All right, well.
You survived. Good job.
Tip your
Right.
adventurers, damn it.
All right, so I guess let's make our way to the inn, get a little bit of rest. Unless y'all want to go and try to, I don't know, talk to anybody else in the town.
I think
Well-
that's something that we can do tomorrow.
Well, tomorrow
Is there
we're
a
heading out.
captain of the guard on here?
I believe Baroness is in charge of most of our what you would call a military. It's not much, but Baroness Yana Sworn, most of you met earlier. She's kind of in charge of that, but she just went upriver to warn all of the towns about, the whole polluting death thing.
I'd like to learn more about the fire in that house. Do you know of anyone who could speak to who might know more?
Well, I think you're looking at him, and he kind of straightens up in his chair.
Well, you didn't know very much, but thank you for
He
your
slumps in his chair. Well, I mean,
I love Eli.
honestly, if you go down to the Shaggy Dragon, you could probably ask the drunk folks. They're always more honest.
I mean, it's not
I
a bad
suppose-
idea.
Did when he was here, he had no close friends, or even just acquaintances? Anyone he worked with? Anyone who
Well-
might have visited him in his home?
No, I'm sorry. It was so long ago, I don't really remember well.
That's all right. I suspect this fire was not an accident, but
Well, with the new information, I agree. Well, I'll see you at the Dragon later.
I think we'll be there.
So you're pulled down. You head across the bridge, and you see that the water is kind of flowing. Every once in a while, a dead fish kind of passes by under the bridge.
How does the water look?
It's not so much look, but it smells really rotten. It looks clear, it looks fine, but every
Did
once in a
we,
while you just get a waft.
Did we actually clean up this aquifer? This doesn't smell right.
No, you still have to go seal the things.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, we're not like, I don't think we really had any way to seal it. That was why I told Eli he'd have to send people to.
Big ass cork.
Get, somebody with stone shape, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Go find a druid.
Alright, so you head to the Shaggy Dragon. It is a classic A-frame tavern. You enter inside the wooden door, and there's absolutely no one in here besides the bartender. The way Eli spoke about it, you expected quite a party. And there is just a small
This is
female halfling sitting on her bar.
very happening place you've got here.
Well,
I kinda like
we
it.
bring the party. And also my own drinks. At least it means there should be vacancies. Hi there. My name's Blossom. We were sent this way by Duke Legano.
Oh,
He
hello.
said you might have some rooms for rent.
Sure, of course. Hi, I'm Meekin. And she jumps off, and she's wearing these little, pointy shoes.
No.
Long brown hair. And she's like, yes, I'm Meekin. She walks over, and she's like, okay, how many rooms?
There's 5 of us, right? Well, I mean 6 with Aurora, unless somebody wants to bunk up.
Aurora
I'm a good cuddler.
blushes a little bit.
I'm very smooth.
Adrian being
Get
completely
those,
oblivious
get those
and-
shoulders swinging.
Get those shoulders bopping up and down. The Nan stands.
Unless someone wants to bunk up.
Adrian completely oblivious to this says, "Yeah, I'll share a room with someone."
Blossom's whiskers droop a little.
Shield, Mom. Stop being like an actual mom right now.
So good.
Well, you gotta save money. It's safer to sleep with someone else. And
I will share with Adrian if she wishes.
we've got 6 people here. We'll get 3 rooms.
Perhaps Blossom and Yarmir can share as well, and then Kenjax and Aurora.
That sounds like a great idea. Also, a round of drinks for everybody.
You are going to throw your shoulders out with how much they're bobbing right now.
Aurora's kind of like, well, why wouldn't? Okay.
I don't make the rules.
I do now.
Bryn just looked at her blankly, like, that's the normal way it would split up, right? A boy and a girl and a boy and a girl. It makes sense.
Scans.
All right, so Meekin is very excited to have customers, and she jumps down and is pouring you all ale from the tap that is like 2 feet above her, and she just is like, trying her best.
I'm like, I reach over and like just
thank
with
Just
my
about to say, we have.
my 8 foot tall.
I was
ass.
just going to say we have 2 people above 7 feet tall in this
My
party.
8 foot tall ass just helps her
And
out. Just-
here's a halfling trying to get beer from taps that are way above her head.
You know, they really should like make them more for your size. It's
Well,
unfair to you.
It was actually a design flaw. I built this place. It's a whole mess. Anyways, and she hands you 6. They're like honey meads.
Kane-Jax downs it.
It's pretty good.
I mean, yeah.
Yaramir will
Blossom's
pour his
drinking
into
up.
someone else's glass
I take it.
when he thinks no one's looking. Oh, well,
Could I have some
I
water?
guess.
I feel like by now Blossom like reflexively takes any drink
Yeah.
that is like handed
Yeah.
to Yaromir.
I'll slide mine over to Blossom as
Just
well.
like, yes.
Oh God,
Blossom, make a Constitution save for me.
that's a little bit too much defensive drinking.
Nope. I'm
Nope.
drunk now.
All right, you've got disadvantage on Dex stuff. You're
Dex
feeling a little
stuff.
woozy. This is pretty high proof.
I'm
So-
here for it. Y'all, this is some like really good stuff. This is just what we needed after today.
So everybody else, Meekin brings around some water. A few people do start to filter in. There's some off-duty guards that are, letting their plate mail down.
Is that one that we totally scared the shit out of here? Or
Yeah,
is he not
he's sitting in the
house?
corner with like
Oh,
his
I
friends
totally
just like
go up
staring
to
at you.
him. I totally go up to
Oh,
him, put an
God.
arm around him. Hey, buddy, how's it going?
I'm good.
Well, it's your old buddy Ghost Jax. How
Oh.
are you doing?
That's just mean.
I guess I'm fine.
Well, perhaps the color of my fur does maybe make you. Look, I'm very much alive. See, poke me.
He pokes you really hesitantly.
See, I am not Ghost.
You're quite fluffy, I guess. Yeah.
I am very fluffy. Yes, I've heard that a few times. Looks over at Aurora, longingly.
Aww.
Oh.
I don't really know what you're talking about, but here's a free drink, and he's kind of like doing the here's a free stuff to go away.
Oh, thanks, buddy. Ruffles hair. You're a good bean.
Did you just harass that guy into giving you his drink?
No, I was trying to be friendly, but he obviously didn't want to talk to me.
He sits back down with his friends, 2 female elven guards, and they're just kind of like, stop being such a wanker, And they're kind of ribbing him now.
As I'm walking away, I look back and I make the lighting, if it's like a lantern or candle on the table, I make it flicker with thaumaturgy.
I make Azil run out in front of him, and he flickers in and out of view for a
Oh my
second.
god.
Oh my god, this poor guard.
He's like,
are
are you to his 2 friends? He's like, are you
literal-
not seeing any of this? Like what?
Y'all
You're
are
rude.
assholes. I love it.
Kane-Jax sees it more as like a playful prank, if anything.
So at some point, probably, I guess, while King-Jax might be fucking with the guard, Blossom will sit next to Bryn, and just be like, so, how you get to, like,
Oh.
spend some time with your family for a while? You getting to know them?
Yes, a bit. It was. Admittedly, it was not what I hoped, but it was good to know there are still my people out there.
I'm sorry, it's not what you were hoping for.
I shouldn't have gotten my hopes up. I knew they were dead.
Well, I mean, blood is blood, right? You still got somebody to connect with.
I know, but blood does not make family. They are strangers to me, and as glad I am that they exist, and as thrilled I am to have met them. Well, I still miss home.
Yeah, I mean, I know that feeling. But, I mean, hey, you're not, like, totally alone. At least it's not the same, but you still got us.
Yes, and I appreciate it very much.
We'll help you try to. We'll help you, and we will figure out everything.
Thank you.
Don't worry. I'll just kind of like cheers her with my glass.
Clink.
Clink.
I still hold hope.
Do you think there might be like other branches, other clans, or more family somewhere? You didn't know these were
Maybe.
here.
There could be. I don't know.
Did y'all like? I mean, I'm sorry if this is like personal or something. Do you have any idea like why this weird like old family, this ninth family, like was after yours somehow? Because it all seems so intentional, right?
Yes, it did. It seemed like they targeted my people, but I don't know why. I mean, we guarded the Fae portal. That could have something to do with it.
A Fae
I
portal?
don't know. Back in the forest where I come from, sometimes Fae creatures would slip into the woods and they went a little bit mad and we fought them back. We kept the forest safe.
But now that your clan's not there, is
There is
anybody
no one
protecting
left.
it?
Not as far as I know, which might have been the goal, but I don't know.
I mean, that letter we found was talking about getting rid of the lady in the lake and her son. Maybe this, Zetharius or whatever he is, I don't have the name in front of me and Blossom's hammered anyway, was, maybe they're targeting
Guardians?
portals or guardians, yeah, protectors.
Potentially. But when I was ill, I had a dream, and there was a tabaxi woman who visited my mother.
When you were sick, you had like with the rose thing before?
Yes. Perhaps it was just a fever dream because we were searching for your family at the time, but I don't know. It felt very real.
What'd she look like? Or he? What did Tabaxi look like?
Chris, I do not remember. This was a while ago.
Yeah, hold on.
How long ago was this? Like, did your family pass?
They passed when I was just a child.
Was that a very long time ago? I'm sorry, I don't really know how
Yes,
like
it was
elves
a very,
work.
very
you
long
look
time ago.
great though.
Yes,
See,
you'll
no,
look
it was
great.
80 years ago. I think. I don't know. I haven't. I admit in my grief I did not keep track of time particularly well.
I can definitely sympathize with that. 5 years can fly by like really fast for me, so I can only
Yes.
imagine.
Years have a habit of doing that.
She looked like a tiger.
Well, fuck.
It looked like a tiger, like your imposter of an aunt.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's alarming.
I don't know why someone would do such a thing.
I don't know either. I mean, Thunder had that rose thing on her.
I suspect it was her in my dream, but aside from that quest, I have no hard proof, and I don't even know if it was real.
How long does a Rakshasa live for?
How long does a Rakshasa live for?
Till you kill it.
You were researching them, I don't know.
I was
it's like-
researching them.
Honestly, yes, until you kill it.
They can live potentially forever until someone disposes of them.
Fuck. All right. And I forget, did we do our characters know that we need to like how you handle a Rakshasa or not yet?
You do, yeah.
Okay, I couldn't remember if that was actually like
Some of you
in-game.
do.
We
I
had figured
fair.
that out.
Yeah, you figured
Yeah,
it
you're
out.
there.
You spent like a whole day studying.
Yeah, I think that was like when I was getting my sword fixed and
Yep.
stuff. Like,
Yeah.
that was our research day.
Yep.
All right. Well, damn. Maybe it was her.
Maybe.
Could,
I don't
could
know
you
what
see
she.
her hands?
I'm afraid not.
Blossom's like, clearly grasping at straws, like, doesn't really think that's. Fuck.
The question is, how does the Rakshasa have a connection to this lost family?
I got no
And
idea.
is Githyanki.
Right? The Rakshasa, Githyanki.
How do they
and
connect the
portals,
things?
because she had a
portals and-
portal.
She did? And things in the water?
And things in the water. This is, I don't know.
What's the
And
goal?
a bell. There was a bell in that ladder. Both Sam and
Oh.
Blossom are like my all of my brain threads right now. But Blossom
I
is
think
sloppy
I had
drunk
an
right
idea.
now. I don't.
Perhaps this is all connected to the horsemen and the bells. Perhaps they are looking for a way to break open the skin of the universe so they can get to Agora and free her. Disposing of guardians between the worlds one by one.
Maybe. I mean, do you think that would be like part of needing to free her?
Potentially. I don't know. It depends on what kind of connection they would have to Agora and what connection Agora would have to the lost family. I mean, it said in the note they were researching the outer planes.
It says Blossom will like rummage through her pocket and pull out one of the letters just to take a look and be like, it says begin work on your bell as soon as possible.
Yes, I noticed that.
Are they making a bell? Can you make magic god bells?
Agora was sealed in a pocket dimension, another universe. DM, do I know?
She was sealed inside of a star, between the 7 bells. The 7 bells banished her inside of a star, essentially.
Okay.
So
and then,
why would the family that worked to help seal her away try and free her now?
I got no idea. Maybe it's not the whole family. Maybe it's just one person. Maybe it's just this Zagarathis. Maybe is a black sheep of the family, so to speak.
I suppose vengeance is a powerful motivator. Can change how you see the world.
Yeah.
As you two are having this conversation, the tavern does pick up. Eventually, it becomes pretty popular. Like, there's a lot of people in here. The town's pretty lively. They're slight.
Oh.
My bad. Yanked on my head.
Oh, there it goes.
She's drunk now.
It's just slightly later than a typical tavern. It's probably like 11 before it really picks up.
It's like a college town picking up a little later.
Exactly. Eventually, you notice a man followed by 2 other cloaked individual walks in the bar and undoes his hood. He has long gray hair with like a short ponytail in the back. He has an eye patch over one of his eyes, and he carries like a long broadsword on his back. He has a cloak with the crest of Maywood over his neck.
Shit.
Oh shit.
He walks.
Could be bad.
He walks slowly but purposefully over to the bar.
Oh no,
and
is this...
He whispers to the barkeep.
Ren starts like edging towards the door a little bit.
Do we all like notice this? Or...
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
What kind of sword is slung around his back? Does it happen to be a Scottish claymore?
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
They'll never take our freedom.
So he is talking to the barkeep. His 2 associates, who you can't really see, are walking around the rest of the tavern, and they sit at opposite tables, kind of hoping that nobody really notices in the ruckus of the bar.
Well,
I immediately start pretending that I don't know anybody else here.
I What's up,
Me and
Lucy?
my cat.
Where is it?
I mean, honestly, Blossom is very drunk and probably doesn't notice if they're being like subtle.
I'm gonna
about
use
it.
my disguise self feature to look like an elf.
Nice.
Aurora's
Ray
like,
makes sure
and she
Blossom
looks
knows
like a
what's up.
furball. Just kidding.
Oh, if like somebody points it out to Blossom, she'll like
Blossom.
panic.
Stay very calm. But there are guards from Maywood in the tavern.
And one of them's got the big fancy sword that just might match his name.
Son of a...
let's go to
Blossom's
break real
like
quick.
frozen, like mid-drink. Like,
Let's
I
let's
didn't
go
give
to
a long
break real
rest
quick before we
yet.
get into this.
no!
Oh God, no.
I'm not
You guys,
not saying there's
guys-
gonna be combat. I'm just
No.
saying before this scene plays out, it's gonna be a while, and we need a break.
He's
so.
not saying
Y'all-
there's not gonna be
Yeah.
combat.
I don't have a
y'all
map.
might want to like alert Adrian because she's probably in a corner somewhere arm wrestling people.
All right,
Friend,
we'll be
with-
right back.
Mage hand flicks her on the back of the head.
And we're going to break. Be right back.
All right.
back. Short break. Thanks for sticking with us, everybody. As we left off, the party was discussing the letters that they found underground in the Shaggy Dragon Tavern.
Shaggy Dragon.
A imposing figure walked into the bar with two comrades flanking him. They took up opposite ends of the bar and sat at a random table trying to blend in. And just as we went to break, you see as this imposing figure with the gray ponytail steps onto the top of the bar. He unsheaths his sword and sticks it into the table and slams his boot down. And he is wearing spurs, so it kind of like clanks against the table. It's like, all right, 200 gold for any information on Big Furball Boy.
Beans. Oh, beans.
The
Is
guy,
that specific?
it kind of, everybody kind of gets quiet. And you look over, and the guy that you guys have been haunting all night kind of makes eyes towards where you were sitting.
I give him a death stare. I'm
Oh,
like, fucking try it.
No.
Make an intimidation
You will
check.
be the ghost if you fucking do this.
Make an intimidation check, Bryn.
Oh god. Oh no. I keep forgetting that I'm not good at these.
No, you're pretty good at it.
Blossom's fur is totally on end.
That's a 6. I only have a +1.
Oh, really?
I mean,
Blossom like
I'm very
slumps into me, and I'm like,
I am not in Furball form right now.
I know, yeah.
I
Blossom,
am
Blossom,
quite
are you in
intimidating.
human form?
Shit, honestly, I would probably be in tabaxi right now.
I appreciate your honesty.
Yeah.
So he stands up and he looks around, and the guard that you've been threatening all night, he raises his hand. He's like, "Yeah, there was a furball. He came out of like the burned house. That's all I really know. He was here for a little bit. I don't see him around now, but is he wanted or something?" The general does not elaborate.
Blossom's got that like panicked look that like a cat has when like its ears are like forward and like the whiskers are like really tense. Like I'm just not moving.
Bryn wasn't
Is your
there.
tail
She
all
said
fluffed up
pretty. She's
too?
like,
What's up?
Is Blossom's tail all fluffed up too?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, I have bad news. If no one else has any better information, we will be occupying this town until the person is caught. We have a source that says he passed through here.
Oh, beans!
we should leave.
I was saying that. Why do you think I wanted to get a hold of Keith?
Now's not the time.
I still need to investigate the cave.
The general sits on the top of the bar, and he just calmly sips a honey mead and looks out at all of you.
Okay.
I'm-
One by one, in like groups of 2s or 3s, we should all just leave. Casually saunter out.
Let somebody else go first.
That's not a good idea.
I was not there. He will not recognize me. Blossom, come with me. We should go first. We pretend to be very drunk. I'm taking you home.
Can I? Oh my god, this is
Yarmir
fucking
is-
ridiculous.
Yarmir's
Blossom
going
would like to try to make herself throw up.
Oh,
Make a constitution check.
you want to do bad.
Oh my god.
Damn it, 13!
I'm going to say DC 10 with how drunk you are, so
Yeah, that's actually valid.
I think you pass, and you can puke if you want to.
Oh, God.
Blossom will be like, yeah, alright. And just like go to like take a sip and like, you know, like when you're like you're trying to drink when you like should have
Mhm.
stopped like by now and
Yeah.
like
Oh, I
it's
know.
yeah Blossom's like
Probably
putting
all been there.
putting on the whole like act like she's already drunk but she's gonna try acting even more drunk than she is.
Okay.
Have a good.
Okay, Bryn's gonna get up and be like, all right, that is enough for you. Let's go.
But I still have so much left. Are you gonna finish that? And I'm gonna
Yes.
grab like whatever's in front of Adrian.
Absolutely goddamn disgusting.
Come on, come on. It's okay, that's enough.
I'll
You
like
go to-
half collapse on Bryn and like sort of let her
Okay.
lead me.
You go to the door, and there is a half-elf gentleman in the green and gold Maywood cloak standing there, and he has an entire golden sentinel mask on, indicating he is of high rank.
I'm gonna hold Blossom in such a way that she's like slumped over, so her face is like pressed into me.
And what are your names? Asked the
Oh,
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 no! Oh,
There it
Lucy,
goes.
you're drunk.
bummer. He
Wait.
says, and what are your names as you approach?
My name is Bryn. This is Lily. Sorry.
Make a deception check.
Oh God, I'm terrible at these.
Can I be assisting?
Yeah, sure.
I'll just like be nodding.
Yeah. This is not a high charisma character, y'all.
But she's been so diplomatic in the past. I
And
don't
that's
understand.
a 7. It's an 8.
Oh fuck!
Wow. Absolutely goddamn incredible.
The half elf.
Bad at this.
The half elf stands up straight. He's like, I don't think anyone will be leaving the bar quite yet. Come on, the party's just begun. And he moves like in front of it.
Blossom, throw up again. Blossom, throw up again.
Oh
Your
my
brother's gonna head
God.
over to the guards.
Okay, which one? There's one at the front door, one at the back.
No,
I'm
the
gonna keep
scaredy
trying to-
pants one. The
Security
one
pants,
that we.
yeah, I want to kick his ass.
I want to try and keep
That'll
convincing
help
the
the
guard to let us
situation.
leave. I'm like, I'm
I'm
sorry, my
not.
friend is not well. She needs to go lie down.
Would you
Sit
like
there.
to hear a song? And
Oh,
I'll
why
just
are we
start,
leaving?
like strumming my lyre, like still on my side.
No.
And I just start
please.
trying to sing like something dirty.
No, oh, God. Can I take her home, please? She's not well. She's very drunk. She had some too much.
You deserve another song. Encore for me.
He looks
Alright.
over at the general. The general shakes his head no slightly, and he just stands in front of the door.
All right, that's it. You know what
All
this
right,
situation
magic
calls
time.
for? Classic
I
Alex
cast Charm
move.
Person.
No.
Oh no! Classic Brin move.
No, I have a plan.
Well, I was debating lighting him on fire. Do you want to do your plan first? And if it doesn't work, we'll
My
do-
plan is I cast Shatter.
No, we want to get out of this without starting a fight.
You know what? Fuck this guy. I want him dead now.
I cast Charm Person.
On which one?
The guy in front of me. I wanted to let us leave.
It's a half elf.
I mean, like
This is
Adrian
so bad.
could seriously just start a bar fight and cause enough chaos to get out of there.
He rolled a 16.
Well, he passed.
Well,
Oh
here's,
fuck.
that's
He
not
kind of
his.
breathes heavily out of his nostrils, and his hand kind of finds its way down to the dagger on his hip.
Well,
Yep,
twas
it's
worth a
Alex.
try. I cast what do I cast on this bar?
I would like to start a
Misty
bar
said?
fight.
Oh, just kidding. I'll let Adrian start a bar.
All right, what are
Okay,
you doing,
while
Adrian?
we're starting the bar fight, can I just remind you guys, we have rooms here.
Okay,
We
we
could
have to
go to our
leave.
rooms and lock the door.
Blossom's drunk.
It's too late now.
But they could go through the rooms.
What you doing, Adrian?
Yeah, that gives us
I'm
enough
gonna
time to-
turn to the nearest person to me that looks vaguely threatening.
Okay.
And then just right hook him.
Okay, there's like a halfling next to you with a few daggers.
Does this halfling look threatening?
I mean, she's
He's
pretty
got some
battle worn.
daggers.
She has some scars across her forehead.
All right, I punch her in the face.
I rolled a hit with advantage. I guess she's surprised. I don't know.
I don't know why you didn't make a map for this.
You're not gonna believe this. I rolled double twos.
Oh my God.
Two.
Shit. Technically, that's a 22. You're good to go.
Yeah, that's a 22, right? So that's a big 8.
Yeah, her AC is 12. So you just like go to slam her in the temple, and she just kind of dodges it, like, and looks at
Bar
you.
fight, and Adrian's gonna pick up a chair.
Let's party at the hot mess.
Oh God.
And like throw it against the wall.
Nobody moves.
Classic wrong turns.
Nobody moves. You
Nobody
just watch
moves.
Adrian stand up and chuck a chair against the wall.
I don't know. I'm pretty persuaded.
So, okay, at this point, Kane Jack, seeing this whole thing going to hell, drops disguise self.
No, you gotta fight me.
But you want me to
Start
fight
the bar.
you?
Help her start the bar
Yeah,
fight.
help me
All
start
right,
the
fine.
bar
I
fight.
punch Adrian in the face.
Nice.
Okay, roll the hit. Unless Adrian's just gonna take it.
We
I'll
had
take it.
rooms.
All right, you take one
I'll
damage.
take it. I'm invincible.
Adrian, you take 1 damage.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
King Jackson elf form just whaps you across the jaw.
Take that, you dirty human.
Wow.
All
Alright, what are the rest of you doing?
I'm gonna shove him into the person behind him.
I'm a push. I'm gonna push.
Oh my God.
It wouldn't be an
I'm new in town.
Absolutely goddamn incredible.
Alright, what's everybody else doing?
I'm watching this
what my
unfold with confusion.
original plan was going
My
to
face
be
hurts.
was to slip the guard who saw us 200 gold and say, "Man, you are seeing ghosts, I guess. Why don't we just forget this whole
We're
thing?"
past that point.
We are way past
It's too
that.
late.
Yarmir is going to head for the stairs and go up to his room.
Alright, I need Adrian and King Jax. Decide between you who's gonna make a persuasion check between with
I'm gonna
advantage.
say
Why?
plus
Who-
one, so I'm
You're
gonna say
persuading the
probably
rest of the
King
bar or performance. Persuasion
I want
or
to see
performance.
performance checks.
Alright, yeah, I've got a +2 to that, so if you want
How
me to
good are
take
your
it.
stage combat skills?
Mhm.
Yeah, on a scale of like backyard
you not
video to
convince me?
WWE,
Blossom's in
how
the
good are your
wrongest part
fake
of
fighting?
the floor right
Nat
now.
20, King Jackson's fucking
Holy
Stone Cold
shit.
Steve Austin right
Oh
now.
my god.
Was it persuasion or performance? What one? are you rolling?
Performance, baby.
Okay. So everybody in the bar is like, "Whoa!" and they start like chucking mugs at you guys. They're more so because you rolled performance instead of persuasion. They're more so watching you fight, but it is causing a ruckus. They're not necessarily punching each other, but they are kind of forming a circle around you. The
It's-
two of you.
Can we hear the like fight sounds now?
Oh yeah, it's not a big tavern at all. You're probably
I'll,
like
like-
10 feet away from that.
Drunkenly pivot and start playing like exciting fight music on my lyre. Be like, I gotta go check this out, and I'll like
Wait, I'm
grab
doing-
her.
okay. I don't follow her.
Okay. Everybody,
Don't be
it's
suspicious,
breaking out.
don't be
Yarmir,
suspicious.
you go upstairs, no problem. The guards do not move though.
I'm going into my room. I'm sleeping this off. You guys have tons of fun down there.
Don't be suspicious.
Do not know what chaos you're causing, but
Well, neither do we.
I'm reading my book and going to sleep, damn it.
Blossom just knows that the others are caught and didn't want to like go escaping without
Yep.
leaving everybody else. Although she sees Yaramir leading into the back, she will be like, "Oh fuck, we have rooms here."
I think it's a bad idea to stay in
Bye.
the rooms here. I think we should get out of town.
Well,
as soon
no,
as
but
possible.
Blossom's thoughts now are go to room, escape out window.
Yep, I was on that same wavelength
Rooms
as
do
well.
have windows.
I hope.
So
But
Bryn
for
and
now-
Blossom, you're gonna try to sneak upstairs. Is that what I'm hearing?
I think. Oh man.
I don't want
Slowly.
to ditch them.
Yeah, I don't want to abandon people, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep going with my like entertainer. Like I'm just drunk and now I'm playing fight music.
Well, that
For
guy knows I tried to
this
charm him,
fight.
so I'm gonna skedaddle.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that you tried to do that.
You look at Aurora, who's just sitting still, and she just goes invisible.
Nice.
Looks over. And that's when
Second level.
Adrian probably cracks me across the head with like a chair leg.
As you're like looking away, Adrian's like on a table and is just
Oh my god.
People's elbow.
I got. Does Adrian like take her prosthetic off and just like slap me with it?
Um.
no, probably not.
I'm trying to think of like.
Depends how long you guys want to do
Good
this bar
segue.
fight, but the
Come
guards
on,
are not moving.
Hansi!
Are they letting like? Is anybody trying to come into the bar? You know, like I'm curious if they're just not letting people out, or if they're not letting people in or out right now.
They're
So
letting people in.
They
Okay.
did say something about this city being
Occupied.
occupied, and
Which is
not
why I
just
think we
this
should-
bar.
Get the
Right.
fuck out of here.
That's what I'm trying to figure out a way to work on.
Shit. Is
Well,
there...
while you think
What's
about
the
that,
lighting situation like here? I have a terrible, terrible idea.
I could light the bar on fire.
There's
Yeah,
probably,
that's kind of what I'm thinking.
there's probably 3 torches.
I have firebolt. I could just light the bar on fire.
It is made of wood.
you should probably figure out what you're gonna do real soon because Adrian's like not very good at acting and is screaming, "You stole my romantic love interest!"
Is there like a torch behind the general? Like something near him that's like...
Yeah,
would
there's
be-
Shatter, yo.
yeah, there's
Shatter.
one behind him.
Can I like... I
Okay,
would
there's
like
innocent
to
people
try and... Yeah, but I just want to get like the panic so like...
No,
we
no,
have to
I
let
meant
people out.
Kane Jax's
Oh, the
suggestion
shatter.
of shatter. There's
Gotcha.
innocent people here, and that could kill them.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Is there by chance some kind of like tapestry or wall hanging like within a few feet of that torch or something that might be flammable?
There's the wooden wall
There's the
behind it.
general.
That's
He's
the,
probably flammable.
the general. There's ale right underneath of it. There's the wooden wall. No real tapestries.
Okay.
Lawson, you have pretty high proof liquor on you at pretty much all times. That's flammable.
It is, but I would
That
like
honey
to
mead is high
try and sleight of hand, mage hand that torch to light something nearby on fire,
Okay, make a sleight of hand check.
which is going to be at disadvantage.
Yep.
Oh yeah, you've got dex disadvantage because you're drunk.
14. Okay, are you going for the wall or like the ale or the general?
Oh shit.
Go for the ale.
Set his ass on
I
fire.
don't know, is ale alcoholic enough to like burn?
You said it was
ale.
high proof.
Well, the mead was
Like
high proof.
Mead. You go for the mead.
If they got moonshine in there.
Yeah, I'll try and like just sort of like move it slowly and see
Any
if I
good
can
old
just
dwarven
get it
liquor?
like near one of the like casks and see if I can get like a cask to like catch
Okay.
or something.
All right, so while that's doing it, it's kind of burning through the barrel. You do manage to tip the torch over. It doesn't immediately like blow up or anything, but it hasn't burned through the barrel quite yet. So
All right, I'm just kind of like hoping it'll like start, causing
Yeah.
smoke or alarm or
Mhm.
something.
all right, what's everybody else doing? You're just committed to the bit, you two, and
Yep.
then Bryn, what are you doing?
I'm just kind of hovering by the stairs, like Lawson's lighting shit on fire. Yarmy's
Okay.
upstairs. They're fighting. I don't.
This is the first time
Question.
Blossom's using Mage Hand, and she's kind of just using it out of desperation.
Question: since they're only looking for me.
Mhm.
Yes, that's why I was
How
able
far
to
can I
walk
get
up to
in-
my room.
How far can I get in Can I get out of the bar in 6 seconds?
If you were able to overpower the guard, yes.
I'm gonna turn invisible for a turn until the start of my next turn to get out of there.
Okay. So you're just gonna like
you
stop
also
the
don't
bar
look. In
fight?
fairness, you don't look like you at the moment.
I'm gonna let Adrian like just knock me out. Let Adrian have the win.
Adrian picks up another chair. He's like, yeah!
Everybody starts cheering and like lifting Adrian up.
And amidst the chaos, I'm going to use my hidden step feature. I'm gonna be like,
Okay.
alrighty, I haven't used this one in a while. Winds of the mountains, frost of the north.
It's been a long
Shite, what are all the
time.
words? It's been a while. Winds of the mountains, frost of the north. Mask my presence from those who would do us harm. And then he turns, just in a puff of like frost, he turns invisible,
Okay.
and I'm going to dash the fuck out of there.
Okay. Make a dexterity check.
Dexterity check, come on. Can't just cheese in that.
No, I'm not letting you guys out of this that easy.
No, we deserve it.
Oh,
Yeah,
son
we
of a
kind of do.
Bitch, I rolled the bad die. That's
You
a
guys
bad
do.
one.
That's a
Oh.
one. So you do push past the guard, but there's not a lot of space between him and the doorway,
Oh no.
and you definitely knock him over. So you're outside, but he definitely knows that something just hit him.
So, I'm just gonna run.
Just fucking book it.
Run.
Okay.
Still look like an elf at least.
Yeah, I'm gonna
like-
just run.
So you walk
Although
outside.
he would have felt Furbolg.
Yeah.
Just to
Yes.
say.
You walk
Yes.
outside, and there's 3 armed guards outside with bows and arrows.
Act casual instead.
Act
Sprinting out of the bar.
casual.
So
Well,
you,
just you stopped running and just
Gentlemen.
you appear randomly. My good soldiers.
they kind of like look at you, and they notch their bows.
Whoa. They sent me out to go get some more food. We are running low on food.
Make a deception check
Fuck off.
for your
Hey,
life.
I'm really bad at this.
Do you sound like
This is the biggest
like
mess.
King Jax?
Yes, I do. 13.
A deep bassy voice coming from
Let
that
me out of there! I
mouth.
burned so much crap.
The one in the center like raises her bow, and then the other one's like, "Nah, he's telling the truth," and hits his comrade on the shoulder. The bow is lowered.
Oh, thank you, comrades. Thank you. Blessings of Elf God upon you.
Classic.
All right, so Yarmir's basically out. Kangjax is out. Adrian's being lifted through the crowd. Blossom is lighting alcohol on fire. Bryn's hovering by the stairs.
I'll go up the stairs.
Okay. You walk up, you see Yarmir kind of hovering at his window trying to open it.
I'll help him try and open it.
Oh, this is a cluster.
This is so
Oh,
fucked
you
up.
wait-
You guys.
Has
you
my
wait a-
fire coming?
Yeah, you wait a few more seconds, and the barrel has caught now. And there is a fire. The general kind of turns around and is beginning to put out the flames.
Blossom will see that and very drunkenly, panically scream fire.
Good plan.
Everybody starts panicking. And, like, there's a lot of drunk people, as much as Blossom. And there's a bit of a stampede going on towards the door now.
All right, now that I'm out, I want to like get out of sight of the guards and then just cast hold person on the guards that aren't letting Blossom and Bryn out.
Okay.
Well, if there's like a throng of people,
It's too late
I
for that.
would like to try to grab Adrian and disguise myself in like, you know, the like panic of stampede.
Okay. Because this has taken so long.
Wait,
We will-
Bryn's gonna take off her hat and tie her hair back. And be
Okay.
like, I'm a different person, for sure.
Oh my god. Alright, so the two
We
of
will
you
not be taken alive.
the two of you make it out in the stampede, and you hear, because he is not a stupid man, you hear, "Don't worry, run as far as you want," and the general's deep voice from inside. But all of you are kind of out.
Yep. I have now disguised myself to look like alternate human Blossom.
Okay.
So I'm still human, but like totally different hairstyle or something.
So you all slip out. You see Yarmir and Bryn jumping from the window.
They're like, all right.
Let's get as far away as from this place as we possibly can.
I hope we
Aurora
didn't
taps you on
put
the
any-
shoulder.
I hope we didn't like drop any of our stuff in our rooms. Did we have it all with us?
No, we didn't have time.
You didn't go up.
We didn't even.
Now we were.
Oh, okay.
I was the
Blossom
only
went
one who
right
went
from-
to my room.
Yeah, Blossom ordered the rooms, and
We were
immediately
under
started drinking.
zero suspicion until you guys started making every single loudest distraction possible. Try to escape.
They only wanted King Jax, who was in disguise.
I punched
But
the
if they
girl
were
next
there-
to me.
Did you
But-
see how easily I walked to the room?
But if I only had an hour, after an hour, there would have just been like
It's
a
true.
random furball just standing
The
there
clock
like.
was ticking.
And I figured they were gonna search the rooms eventually.
Yeah, sure, eventually.
That would have been
That
so
gives us
funny.
more time than just let's start swinging at random people. Let's set shit on fire. Let's have a
Alright,
bar
so
fight.
what are y'all doing? Are you running out of town? Or are you trying to find a new place in town?
Running
Yeah,
out
I'm
of
getting-
town.
I wanna
think
get
I'm
out
Getting
fuck
out
out.
of town, yeah.
I
Okay.
think we gotta get out of Dodge, yeah.
Okay. Where are you running towards? What's your destination?
In the general direction of the cave.
I guess so.
Yeah, Aurora says, I guess this is a good enough time to take you there.
Might as well.
And she begins running north.
I'm
Do we know
sorry
what
you couldn't
the,
have our sleepover?
We were so close.
Ugh.
Do you do we know what crest the person in front of the cave has? Was that ever said?
Yeah, it's the DR crest. Same one.
Oh, it's a DR. Okay, cool.
The Duran crest.
All right, so it is pretty late. Do you want to sleep in the woods or take a point of exhaustion to get to the cave?
I'm not taking a point of exhaustion. I'm
Let's sleep in the woods.
Absolutely.
How far
sleeping.
can we get, like, distance-wise from the Concords?
You probably put a good 2 hours between you. A few miles.
I'll use Sleet Storm to cover our tracks on the
Okay.
way there.
Sure.
Twice.
Because
Okay.
a snowstorm isn't suspicious.
But we're in the cold one now, aren't we?
It's
Pretty
cold,
cold.
and sleet is wet. It'll melt.
It's
It'll
pretty
just-
cold.
Yeah, so I guess we'll be camping in the woods.
I'm gonna set up my faithful hound to
Sure.
watch our
Nice.
campsite.
Okay. Make a
Awesome, it's
perception
up a
check
tree.
for your hound.
Well, it just stands there.
Menacingly.
Say.
I conjure
just
a candle
standing
outside
there.
in an unoccupied space that I can see within range, where it remains for the duration until I dismiss it as an action or until I move it more than 100 feet away from where it started. The hound is invisible to all creatures except me and can't be harmed. When a smaller, larger creature comes within 30 feet of it without first speaking the password, and I specify when I cast the spell, the hound starts barking loudly. The hound sees invisible creatures and can see into the ethereal plane. It ignores illusions.
That's cool. It's cool that it can see in the ethereal plane. Okay, so you all find sleep.
Thank God. I should mention, by the way, the reason I was so insistent on not fighting anything, I had 8 hit points that whole time.
Oh,
Adrian,
I was not
during
about
the
to fight.
night, you have your normal nightmares of war. You have the normal dreams that come to you. But the one that you had all the way back in the bookends when you first met the Wrong Turns comes to you again, of the giant double door with the circle in the middle and the smell of roses creeping out from behind the door. This time it's a little different. There's a giant woman in front of it. She has long braided hair down her back, but she is a fire giant, and she stares at you with 2 smoldering red eyes before you kind of snap out of it and come to.
No questions or anything. Sad.
Sad. Alright, so everybody gets their long rest.
Thank God.
woo!
Ooh, boy. That was a day.
That went poorly.
Blossom takes a few swigs up in her tree before she comes down.
Why?
to, like,
Why am I a
everybody.
fugitive? Why am I a fugitive of the law?
You're the one who stabbed him.
Killed a
Allegedly.
guard.
Well, that was me. Actually.
Allegedly. Well, there's
There
one
was
thing
that-
we've got to do here.
That Guidon bolt, I guess. The
We
one
We
you
could-
and Ton took care
We could
of.
shave you. They wouldn't
Whoa,
know.
whoa, 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 whoa! We are
I
not going.
don't think that's necessary.
I think
but
that might be more noticeable.
maybe just to be safe for now, Blossom will take off her hat of disguise and pass it over to King Jack.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Think you might have better use of this than me right now.
King
I mean, we
Jack-
are in the woods. Can
For
we find
now.
some like berries and dye his fur?
I was gonna just dye my fur with mud. I was gonna just make it look black with mud.
That's
Okay,
not gonna
well,
last
that'll
for
get
a
all
long.
clumpy and gross.
All right, or we could use the berries. We could get
Or
berries.
you could just take the fucking hat.
Or just take the goddamn hat.
All right, fine. I'll take the. Oh.
we tried the creative solutions already, and look where that
Listen,
got us.
the hat can cast disguise self once a day, right?
Nope, at will.
Oh, well,
At
just kidding.
will.
It's fine. Take
Oh,
that.
beans! King
Yeah.
Jax
That's
is taking a snow
broken.
leopard form.
Nice.
Look, Blossom,
No
I'm on the
leopard
wheel.
tabaxi. Yeah, high five. Sorry.
A shaved blossom just made me think of a Sphinx cat tabaxi, and I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't
hate
like
it.
it.
I
Thank you,
have
I
that
hate
NPC planned for the future game I might run.
Nice.
So, Aurora guides you through the woods. If there's any character interaction you'd like to have, now would be the time. Otherwise, we will skip ahead to the cave.
Bryn's just gonna be sulky. She's still pissed that they killed those guards.
Oh, you know, you weren't there. You don't understand.
Blossom is
Exactly.
like lagging in the back, dragging her feet a bit, feeling really bad because she did kill the guard. The one
Okay.
that the general is probably actually upset about, and apparently seems to think it was King Jax who did it, which is what Plassa was trying to stop from happening.
Kane Jax is trying to think of every like good lawyer that he knows of. He's like trying to call up Saul Goodman right now.
Better call Saul.
The only person that comes to mind is Boolin. You think of someone else and you're like, oh yeah, Boolin might be better
Oh, yeah.
than that.
Bullion is a good attorney. Yeah.
Oh man.
Okay, so any character interaction? You good?
Go
Okay.
for it.
Golden
I don't know. I think
boy.
Blossom's way too much in her
I
own
think
head
we're all a
right
little bit
now.
too introspective right now.
Kind of.
Yeah, we're grumpy.
All right, so you make it to the mouth of a cave. You are close to point 1. You are somewhere in these hills, somewhere in these rolling hills. You walk for a while. The air kind of shifts to a little bit warmer as you get higher elevated. You still have the chill, but you don't see your breath as much. You walk between a few of the caves, and the ground beneath your feet crunches, and it begins to turn to this gravelly silver rock. You continue through, and you step down, and there's a large slope off of one gravel hill, and at the base of it is a little, a small pond, and in the center, a small statue of a forearm all the way up to an open palm holding an orb in the center. Behind it is an entrance to a small cave.
Does that iconography mean anything to me?
It sure does to one of you. Yarmir, this is,
God damn it.
Damn
Damn it, shit.
Tea! Gotta remember your tea!
Yarmir,
Damn it,
this
damn it.
is not necessarily the symbol your order used to use, but it's not like the cover of your book or anything, but it is, related to your old order.
Okay.
You can share that or keep it to yourself.
I'm keeping it to myself.
So Aurora walks down and she's like, yeah, this is where I was. I was delivering something up to Bapik, the town on the top of the hill. And she points up, and there's a huge town up there. You guys already know that.
Right.
And she's like, this is where I was. I was delivering there when I actually tripped. I'm a little clumsy sometimes down this mountain, and I skidded down here. And there was a man, his skin seemed to be made of crystals, and he was staring out at me.
Crystals.
Mm-hmm.
Did he have, like, weapons or anything, or?
No, his fists were bloody. The water around him was a little tainted with the red.
The hell?
Well, if
I
know
go and sniff the water.
Water smells fine. Maybe a little irony from the blood previously, but that's it.
Well, if I know anything about us wrong turns, we're gonna go right into that cave and we're gonna find out what's going on.
We sure are.
Oh, I mean,
a reason.
absolutely.
There is a reason that we're
I
called
send
the
a zeal
wrong
in.
turns.
Okay, you send a zeal in.
Anyone know what that symbol is? I don't recognize it. I'll, like, start flipping through the, like, papers we found the other day and be like, I don't think it's in here anywhere. Is it, like, a Darun thing?
Can I see any signs of an arcane ritual? Any magic here?
Make an Arcana check. Or investigation,
Ooh.
either one.
I'm better at Arcana. That's a 22.
22. There
Actually, my
is
score's the same.
there is not a ritual here, but what you do find is that the orb in the center of the forearm statue is magical.
Can I try
Yeah.
and pry it out?
More orbs, more often than not, tend to be magical. Just kind of as a rule of thumb.
You go up to it, and it's not affixed to the statue at all.
Oh, I take it.
Okay.
I covered my hand with my robe, but I take it.
Sure. You take it off, and the forearm statue begins to descend down into the
Oh,
pond.
shit.
Oh,
And it
That might have been a
submerges
mistake.
fully.
did the orb look like the orb we have?
You kind of brush it off. It is a little dirty, so it wasn't translucent when you grabbed it, but it does appear to just be... now, Bryn, you look at it, and it is no longer magical. As soon as
What
you take
the
it off
fuck?
the pedestal.
Huh.
I try holding it out over the water to see if the pedestal comes back.
The pedestal does come back.
I place it in the pedestal.
It seems to be magic.
I take a couple minutes and I ritual cast Identify.
While Bryn does that, I actually, because I see you're like playing with this orb thing, I'm gonna take out the Ecrix and see if it like is hanging out, like if the trail is hanging out in here. Because I think the last time we checked it was kind of lead into this general direction.
Yeah. So, first thing, Bryn, you cast Identify. You said, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so you take your minute or 10 minutes, whatever it is, to cast Identify, and this is a lodestone. It is currently holding a door shut somewhere on this plane of existence.
So somewhere you were just like opening and closing like a garage door somewhere.
It's like the remote from your neighbors.
Right?
Blossom, you take out your Ecrix, and it is pointing south now.
South, so like back out through the cave.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, I tend to prefer doors closed, so I'm gonna leave it as is.
Okay. So you put the lodestone back, pillar comes back up, and the palm accepts it.
Any idea
Right.
what that is?
It is a lodestone. It is keeping a door closed somewhere.
A door. Did we hear anything? Like while it was moving? Could we hear like anything throughout the cave, like shifting?
You did not, no.
Has Azil found anything interesting?
You want to look through their eyes?
Yup.
Okay. You see inside, you see a winding crystal hallway. There are multiple entrances, which leads you to think that all these paths intertwine somehow.
Anything about it familiar to me at all?
Not to you.
Okay, well, I report that to the gang.
Okay.
Come back to myself. Call Azil back.
Okay.
It's just made of crystal.
Yeah. Something like that.
Do you recognize it?
No. I've seen something. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's
Make
fine,
a deception check, Yar.
Yeah.
16 insight check.
Oh, yeah, you're definitely going to whip my ass on this. Yeah, that's a solid 7.
7. Yaramir is not being exactly forthright.
No.
You are lying.
Well, I have seen caves like this before, but
Oh,
these
have you?
exact configurations, maybe not as much.
What are they?
Well, they're caves. Things live in them.
But
No
like,
shit.
they're weird and crystal.
Yeah, crystals can be caves. You have a problem
What
with crystal
do you
caves?
know?
I might know some people that lived in caves like this.
Why would one be here? What does it have to do with the water? Do you know?
Why would one be anywhere? I don't know.
You are not helpful. I'm going in.
If we die, I'm hunting you, Yaramir.
Yeah, do it.
Aurora's
I'll
like,
follow Bryn.
I guess we can go in. I did ask for an adventure, right? And she kind of punches Kang Jax in the arm and runs inside.
I guess we're going in.
Oh, I can do the talking then, but
There are 3 hallways to choose from.
Oh, I cast mage armor on myself.
Okay.
Good
There are-
thinking.
There's a left hallway, a straight hallway, and then a right one. You do look down, and they all do curve together, and it is impossible that they wouldn't intersect somewhere down the line. Just the structure, how it looks structurally.
Yarmia, do you have any idea which way we should go?
I have a hunch. If I remembered correctly, and then he's going to stop there and think for a bit, and then he'll head down the leftmost hallway from the direction of where we're standing. So,
Okay.
Yaramir's left is the one we're going down.
So you all are walking down this hallway, kind of hunched over, kind of being careful to be quiet. If you want to be quiet, you can go ahead and make stealth checks.
Yes, please. Blossom's also being like super, just kind of keeping her eye on like Yaromir to like see if he's like seems like upset or like nervous or something.
Mhm.
Oh boy, that's a 4.
I got a 23.
That's a natural 1. I'm very distracted by potential Yaramir tea.
Wait, the rogue.
I know. Even Rogue's got an @1 sometime on a stealth check.
Well,
12. Yarmir.
actually,
Oh, I need to
13.
roll real quick. My bad.
Oh.
Mubby.
I was too busy
Because Blossom
figuring
remembers
something out.
Yaramir talking about hiding from people to Ton back when we were in hiding.
Allegedly,
so
16.
Blossom is very curious.
Allegedly.
As somebody who has also been hiding from people she didn't want to find her, she's like, is this his wandering dusts?
So as you are walking down the leftmost crystal hallway, the crystal is not perfect, so there are little gaps in it every once in a while, so you can see through to the hallway next to you. As you are walking by one, you see this huge hulking figure, laboring breaths, walking through the halls, and it has brown fur on the arm as it passes by you. But there's just huge, heavy footsteps, just boom, boom.
Yaramir, what is that?
Well, looks like it's a guard of sorts. It shouldn't bother us as long as we take the right paths, though.
Okay,
I'm
just
just
gonna follow you then.
How do we
Yep.
take the right paths? Does this mean we took the wrong one?
no, we took the right one.
I'll drop into King Jack's form.
Okay.
They're
Yeah, you can
furry,
do that. No, they're not gonna care about Maywood at all here.
But they're furry, so if they see me, maybe they'll be less likely to attack right away.
They don't give a shit about furbolgs, trust me.
What do
There's
they
one
give
of
a
us they give a
about?
shit about.
Wait,
And,
How do you know so much about these caves?
mm,
Yeah, what
said
are they
too
gonna
much.
care
I
about?
should not have said that.
Should not have said that.
Have said that. Okay,
He's
so
just-
it comes to a fork in the road. There's left, right, and straight again.
I think you got some talking to do before we go too much further, Yaramir. What's
Mm.
going on?
Maybe once we're out of the caves
Can we
here,
hash
and
out the familial issues later?
he'll kind of wave everyone down the left path again.
What if there's
Oh,
something
yeah,
we need
yeah.
to watch out for?
Clearly there is. It is the giant.
You
door
already
over
saw
there.
what we need to watch out for.
Okay, you continue down the left path. The walls again are solid crystal, and you can kind of see your reflection every once in a while. But again, it's imperfect. It's kind of a web. You look through the next one and you see nothing. You look to your left and you see another path emerging from the left. It is definitely a maze. You're starting to get, even though you've only taken 2 paths, you're starting to doubt your ability to kind of get back there safely. At least with that thing walking around.
Yaramir, did these caves occur naturally, or did someone make them?
Little column A, little column B.
What is their purpose?
I told you, there's things living in here.
Are there like traps or something? Do we need to be more careful, or is it just the things living here?
Unless somebody said them, I don't think we should. I
Like a
don't think
crystal
we'll have any.
person with a seal of a dead family line with bloody fists, maybe?
What lives in here?
Yarmir's silent as he kind of peeks down both paths, and then he takes the straight path. instead
Yaramir,
of
I
the
like
left
our
one
hair on
this time.
fire. Answer my question.
Blossom is just giving him the biggest stink eye.
I need everyone to make perception checks.
Hold on.
T,
before we do-
Man,
T,
remember when we were talking about
That's
using all our
9.
good rolls earlier?
3.
3.
Wait, I don't
3
have that
for
spell
T.
prepared.
3 for
12.
T. 12 for T.
My passive is 13 for one.
Big 7, big 7.
Big 7.
My passive perception is an 18, if anyone was curious. I rolled a 9.
Ouch.
That's a 10.
Holy shit, guys.
Everyone's yelling at me. I can't make good decisions.
Okay, so you continue down the straight path.
Fuck.
Eventually, you make it to another one of these small bodies of water with the forearm statue. This one has no orb on top of it. And this one, instead of like a little pond, it is like a crafted fountain with a crystal rim around it. Water is spurting from where the orb would be held in the center of the palm, kind of slowly trickling down. This is a much
I
more
sniff the
built-out
water.
place. Water smells okay.
Okay.
This is a much more built-out half semicircle, like someone built this rather than naturally occurring caves. There are 3 archways where a door would typically be, leading into 3 separate rooms.
Any ideas?
I think we're following Yaromir here.
Yeah, he seems to be the one that knows what to do and won't tell us anything.
I do want to check the fountain for any sort of magic or rituals or anything.
Okay, go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Blossom's like quietly grumbling, like, my family, fucking whatever.
23.
I told you what was up.
There is no magic present here, at least in the fountain.
I got a 23. Can you tell me any more than that?
I cannot.
Oh man,
Shit.
Sam has an idea, but I don't think Blossom would think of it. Did you explain like the magic orb and statue to us?
It's holding a door open somewhere.
Yeah.
Or closed.
Lodestone.
And Adrian had a nightmare about doors.
She sure did. We don't know that though.
I know, I'm
Does
just
this door
speaking
look
meta.
familiar?
There are no. They're just archways here. They're not actual doors.
Oh, okay. So not.
So no.
There's no markings on these archways?
Nope, just crystal, smooth
Cause-
crystal.
Sam's
Okay.
thought is we were supposed to take that orb with us and like leapfrog it on the statues.
That'd be a fun mechanic, but
You want to go back and get the orb?
I don't know, do we?
I'd like to know
That
what
smile
door
says
it's
no, we
holding-
shouldn't.
Yeah, I'd like to know what door it's holding closed first. Because maybe it's a trick for stupid.
I thought
naive
it was
people to
holding a
take
door
with them.
open.
Closed.
Oh,
I think-
closed. Okay.
So which room would you like to adventure?
I don't know. Let's
I want
see.
my cat to check them all first, right
Okay.
to left.
Okay, right to left.
Nice.
You walk into, or your cat walks into the right room. It is a dining room with a crystalline table. A natural chandelier gives off a bright purple light, filling the chamber. There is nobody in this room.
Is there another door on the other end, or does it end here?
Yeah, it ends there.
All right, I poof his heel back and send him into the next one.
Okay, the straight ahead room is a small bedroom with 16 messy beds. Personal belongings.
16?
Personal belongings sit here: lockets, trinkets, books. It's very messy. It seems like some people were in a hurry. None of the beds are made. There's pillows thrown about. There's some down.
Any sign of conflict here?
Not here. It's not until you get to the next room.
Oh, God.
A horrible scene is displayed in front of you. There are 16 dead half-orc bodies laying. There is
oh, you absolute asshole.
There is an altar sitting in the center. 3 of the bodies are piled on top of the altar. And there is no one, to your knowledge, living in this room.
Are there any symbols on the altar I recognize?
Make a history check.
No, that's a 6.
There are not.
I suspect we should. Well, if we are going to go into a room, go into the room on the left. I warn you, it's not pretty.
What'd you see?
Oh, so.
There was a massacre here.
A what?
Yaramir's just gonna head over to that room right now.
Okay.
Yep,
Yarmir,
Bren's going.
I'm gonna follow, yeah.
you walk in, and you see 16 dead corpses of half-orcs in familiar robes. You kind of look around, and you do not recognize the majority of them.
Okay.
You do recognize 2 of them. Let me find their names quick. One is called Miculus. He was not necessarily like a mentor figure to you, but he was one of the older individuals when you joined, I guess.
Mhm.
And another one is Anadora, and she is, again, not a mentor, but she was married to Miculus. And the 2 of them not necessarily ran the order, but were the more experienced members of it, helping some of the younger ones. You just weren't chosen to be their mentee.
That symbol on the altar wouldn't be one I recognized, would it?
Actually not.
Interesting.
You do kind of walk up to the altar, and you do see a hole where there used to be a circular object, much smaller than the orbs, though.
Does it look like anything we found back at the Wandering Dusks?
Make a history check.
I can't just see with
Can
my
I
eyes.
check as well?
That's a natural one.
Wow.
It does not look like anything, nor
Not a
can you
clue.
recall what is going on. Blossom, you wanted to
Um,
look as well?
Yeah, or if I like recognize that symbol.
Sure. Make a history check.
This wouldn't happen to be alarmingly in my wheelhouse, would it?
Nah, just a 10. Probably not.
Wouldn't I have given you advantage if that was the case?
Valid.
Yarmir's gonna go over the bodies of the two that he knew.
Miculus and Anadora. Anadora has long black braided hair down to her waist. She has been slashed, 3 slashes across her chest. Her robes are in tatters. Miculus looks a little more fresh. You can't discern any stab wounds or anything like that. And in
Can I
fact,
medicine check him?
yeah, go ahead.
I'd like to, while he's doing that, just take a look for like tracks and if I can identify like weapon marks on walls
Sure.
or something.
Make a general perception check for that.
13 for medicine.
13 medicine. He is alive. He's using a technique that was perfected by your order to appear dead. The only reason you're getting it with a 13 is because you've seen other half-orcs do it before.
It was a
Weird
14
question.
Perception.
15?
14.
14. You don't see any swords on the half-orc bodies, but you do see like scrapes against the walls. You do see scrapes on the ground that could be caused by a blade. There's a chip out of the crystal altar that maybe someone hit.
Okay.
Blossom, as well as that, you do kind of just, not like kick them over, but you shift over one of the half-orc bodies, and there is a green scale embedded in their shoulder blade.
Weird
Ah,
question,
shit.
Chris.
That she says that out loud. Like that's
What
Blossom.
does it smell like in here?
You are really liking smelling things, aren't you?
Listen, the road thing is a
important.
big clue.
It's
True.
It's strange because it smells so much like death in here, but you do get the ever just faintest hint of rose over the top of this
Yep.
decaying area.
Can we tell how long these bodies have
Sure.
been dead?
We already made medicine checks, right?
Yeah, I made one.
Kane Jax hasn't.
No, go ahead.
Whoa, excuse me.
Claire
Kane Jax has
coming
been-
through.
Kane Jax has just been kind of observing everything.
Mhm.
Finally, dirty 20.
30-20. These bodies were killed less than a day ago.
These are some Kane Jax kind of observing. These are some rather newly gone on they've just recently gone on their final journey.
Can you perhaps speak to one, see what happened to them?
Let me check what I've prepared for the day.
I mean, would you be alright with that, Yaramir? Like, we recognize that he seemed to recognize at least 2 of the people.
Yarmir has been muttering something very low and very gravelly to one of the bodies he's checking over in particular. None of you, I believed, would understand a word he's saying.
I don't think any of us speak Orc. If that's what you're saying.
Unfortunately, to be prepared in the unfortunate event that someone were to fall in combat, I kind of swapped out some spells that I may have had ready to speak to the dead spirits. So, unless
Well,
you've got
that's
something up your
Really,
sleeves.
really lucky. King Jax, can you come over here, please, and give me a hand?
Oh yeah, of course, Yaramir. Of course, I saunter on over. Oh, what do I need to do?
Yaramir will grab King Jax by the forearm and just shove his arm right onto what do you say,
Miculus.
Miculus.
Yes, he's. Do I know if he's dead or alive? GM.
With your 20, he's alive.
Oh, what do I know what I need to do to get him back to consciousness?
Some sort of restoration would probably do the trick.
Restoration or healing?
I mean, Yarmir also knows it doesn't last forever, so you could also wait if you don't have restoration prepared.
I do have restoration prepared, but that's a second level slot I'd be burning. Resource
Shrug.
management. All right, fine. I'll cast Lesser Resto to wake him up.
Okay. You watch as some cold energy kind of clouds over Miculus's entire body, spreading out from King Jax's hand. And Miculus comes to. He swings out his legs from under him, and King Jax, you just get tripped and you fall flat on your ass.
Oh, beans.
Miculus is ready to go. He's about to punch Yaramir. Yaramir, if you want to say anything.
I'll tell him to. I'm basically anytime I'm addressing Miculus, it's going to be in half orc from pretty much here on out.
Yeah.
Or orcish, I guess. That's not a half orc isn't necessarily a language now, is it? But I am gonna basically stop. We're here to help you. I guess we're here to help you now.
Well, you're a bit late, and he sits down on the altar.
Yeah, we to be completely honest, we came across this by happenstance. I wasn't expecting to be making any homecoming.
You shouldn't be here in general, but you are here.
We've got a funny way of doing these sort of things, don't we?
He looks down sadly for a moment and brushes the hair out of his past wife's face.
Where's everyone else? They're safe, aren't they?
Believe that is only privileged information for the Order, Yaramir.
Oh, fuck off.
He laughs under his breath. He stands up to the altar. He takes out this small orb of what you all recognize as Ecrix from his cloak and slots it into the altar.
Does anything happen?
Nothing that you notice. But with your experience with Ecrix so far, you probably know it's quite complicated and something happened.
It's
I think that's a valid assumption.
Hello. Who are you?
You can answer that, or you don't have to.
I am Miculus. I am important, and you are.
My name is Bryn Benanamero.
We're the wrong turns with the chapters of brass.
We're
And-
also important. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm a big deal.
Yaramir rubs his temples.
as soon as you say chapters of brass, he looks over to Yaramir and he's like, "You've really settled." In Orcish.
Ouch.
Oh! I was about to be like, whoa.
Hi.
Settled
Hello.
is a curious word, but maybe it applies. Regardless,
What
it's
happened to you?
He is completely ignoring you, focused on the orb. He's twisting it and turning it, but he does respond. He's just not looking at you at all.
Oh no, I get that.
5 Dragonborn stormed us last night. They were after this stone. I was able to hide it.
Were they of varying colors?
I
Perhaps
think
each one a
so.
different
I'll
color.
Hold up the green scale I found.
Yeah, that is familiar.
There were
Did they
5,
perhaps
yes.
did they perhaps bear any religious markings related or affiliated with I don't know, Tiamat?
Tiamat is an old wives' tale.
Well, these Dragonborn were really into that old tale. You know, maybe they formed like a little book club or something.
Do you
No,
see
no.
what I've had to be traveling with? You should have heard what happened back in the glades.
You say this in
Wait.
Orc?
The
Yes.
last
Oh, yeah.
time, the last time we saw those Dragonborn, they were talking about going off into like some mountains or something.
Indeed,
yeah.
they were.
There was
No,
a
I
green one,
disrespect.
a red one, a white one, a blue one, and a gold one.
Yeah, they just had the whole rainbow.
And a gold one. Yeah, the red one got out of jail. Good for her. Blossom
Just because
framed
you
her.
believe something is an old wives' tale does not mean others don't believe it to be true.
If
And
they
they're
were
willing
after,
to take
if they
action
were
on
after
that.
Tiamat, why did they have a gold dragonborn with them?
Thumbs through pocket, pulls out gold dragon scales.
Well, that's unfortunate.
I got
Tiamat or not, unfortunately, I'm starting to think that this is all connected. And then, in Orc,
ever figure out what
he's. Go ahead.
Sorry. Did we ever figure out what the fuck was up with that dragon who had babies that went insane?
No.
We just told the Kraelius about
Yep.
it.
Not
Just
that's
I was
classic.
gonna ask though, because we did see like
Yet
if
another
memory
wrong turn,
serves, we
loose
did
end.
find some
Yeah.
of her scales.
Not
Does like
You
the
have
scale
one. Yeah.
that I find like match up with hers? Is it like the same color, the
I
same
mean,
kind of size?
You also have an egg that you lifted from her study.
Oh.
Well, Bryn has that, and I
Oh,
don't think
right.
everybody else knows she has it.
Oh man.
But the scale
Forgot
is
about that.
We're
green.
so good at these loose ends.
It's
We should-
roughly
we
the
should
same
change our name.
size.
We're not the
Roughly
wrong
same
turns
size.
anymore. We're the loose ends.
We're just the worst.
I'm here for it.
Remember when we were gonna try to tell Thunder that our name was the right choices?
I remember that.
That might be the biggest
Oh,
lie.
I
Yes.
remember.
Miculus looks out at you. He's like, Yarmir, if you want to be... He's saying this in common now. Clearly being degrading in front of all of your friends on purpose. He says,
What a
Yarmir,
That sounds all right.
if you want to be of use, you should just leave.
Excuse me, a voice rumbles with
No,
thunder.
Yarmir puts a hand up and he says, "Well, guess that makes sense. Give my regards to the hand. We'll be on our way.
Can I cast Detect Thoughts?
On Miculus?
Yep.
Sure.
Can I cast Power Word Kill on Nicholas?
You may try.
I'd sure rather you did. I'm sure you wish you wouldn't. English is hard.
So you get his surface feelings and thoughts, right?
Yep.
He is all over the place right now. He just found out his wife died. He just found out Yaramir is back. He just found out that he was not dead. There's just a lot going on, but he is overall very frustrated to be woken up to this area.
That's valid. I'm gonna probe deeper. He must make a wisdom saving throw.
The wise.
I'm sure this will go great.
That's 20.
Shit. Alright, he knows I tried to do that.
He doesn't really respond. He just kind of laughs. All right, it's probably time you leave.
Yeah. Well, before we go too far, name Agora ring a bell to you at all?
Some laughs.
I didn't even mean to do that. God damn it.
You know what? Stream's over.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone go home. Everyone go
That's
home.
it for tonight, everyone.
He's like,
Good night,
well,
everybody.
You were always the least funny.
What?
Of course it does. Everyone knows Agora, but I don't think it was in this case. They were mumbling about some town in Theroboros, though, when they were picking us clean of our loot.
Funny you should say that. That's where I've been spending the last couple years.
Did you catch the name of the town?
My Draconic is a bit rusty, but it was something to the effect of a hammer or something.
Admir's hammer. We're going back when it
Yep.
all began.
Back to the future.
Yes, back on a
Do I give Keith a
boat.
call now?
No, let's wait a bit, King Jax. We
Yeah.
got some time.
Now, if
We
you
got a lot of
excuse
things
me,
to work out.
I'll be finishing this. I'll be burying the dead, and I will be relocating.
I don't blame you.
Our sympathies for your loss.
Thank you.
And I'm gonna head out there. There's nothing for me there now.
As you turn around, there is a bright flash of white light in the chamber. And you look backwards, and Miculus is standing there stunned. The Ecrix is floating in front of him. And Yarmir, it seems to be calling to you. You hear your name whispered in your head. Miculus looks pissed in the background, displeased, upset. And he looks down and he's like, perhaps your story isn't done with the hand yet.
We both wish it would be, but you know how these things go. And Yaramir will turn around and head on back to the to that floating ball of whatever spectralness.
Take it. It wants
Yep.
you.
He will pluck it right out of the air.
Well, welcome to the club.
Everyone has an orb except me.
I just give him a thumbs up.
I don't have orb either.
We have
It's
the
just the
haves
three
and
of
the
us, right?
haves. Yeah, we have the haves and the have-nots right now.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, I only had to get bashed in the face with mine a couple of times.
I feel
so,
like
you
we're
know,
sneeches.
Yarmir
everyone
just
else
had to
just
be.
got to get him.
Yarmir got
Sneeches.
verbally berated for his.
You just got a stern talking to.
I don't
Oh.
remember how I got mine.
You were sick.
Yeah, I almost died. That's how.
It was actually, I think you
Nice.
have the one that Nock gave Blossom first. Because Nock gave her one. And
No,
then I think
Bryn's is from the volcano that blew up when you killed
Yeah.
the last horseman. The
Oh,
one,
we
the
all
one
almost
Nock
died.
gave you is now plot inconsequential because that player is no longer with us. So, he looks. Miculus looks down at you, and he's like,
Well,
"Understand that you are a vessel of Kel if you take this."
Who? What now?
The what?
I understand.
Did that name mean anything to
Was
me?
that in common or Orcish, though?
He says, before I answer this, he says, "Don't let us down again. You've been given a second chance."
I'll do my best with it. Do you think I should head home then, or just straight on through?
I would find these Dragonborn, but I am not here to give you a task. I would not go home.
I have no intention to. I can only imagine what's waiting for me back there.
More stern talking to than this.
Oh, I'm sure. I know the hand's equivalent of a stern talking to. What you just gave me was a nice pat on the back with a little bit of lotion.
He actually does smile at this.
Is this an orc still?
It's gotta be an orc thing.
Miculus is
I'm
not.
just wondering if we could understand any of that.
You can at least understand my half of it because Miculus is not speaking
Okay.
in Orc anymore.
Yarmir is speaking in Arc every time he's talking to Miculus. He's being cagey as hell.
He looks down and he puts on his gloves and he begins picking up the first body. He's like, "I will be home if you need me, but I don't expect you will."
Mr. Miculus, perhaps you could use some help with the recently deceased. I can perform a funeral rite for them if you so desire.
Mm-mm. He's got his own funeral rites, as do we all.
That is true. I appreciate your vigor, but I will take care of it my own.
Just trying to pay proper respects to the recently departed.
And I appreciate you for it.
Still got that name though.
What name? Kel?
Kel?
Make a history check. It's gonna be really hard though.
That's
Is it a
only an
religious
11.
thing?
Yeah, it's like some kind of weird monk order. It's beyond that. You're like, I don't really know.
I don't care about that. Not elves. I don't give a fuck.
Over it.
No magic,
Wow.
boring. Miculus goes about burying his dead.
Well, I suppose if I'm done taking your Acrix and desecrating the order, I figure it's time for me to head on and find some Dragonborn.
Please do.
Indeed.
Did the Dragonborn have any, like insignias or crests on them by chance? I know you said they didn't have the Tiamat ones, but was there like maybe a rose or some lettering?
They did not.
Just
Yeah, now
trying to
that-
find some people ourselves.
Can I ask, Chris, if there is any symbols if there are any symbols on the altar thing, what do they look like,
Yeah.
even if we don't recognize them?
Oh,
my
there
God.
it goes
Oh my
again.
god, I'm gonna lose my shit.
There is an interlocking pattern of runes around the top plate that can be slid off, similar to like a tomb.
Okay.
Well, I can attempt to hail us a ride back to Hagmir's Hammer.
I think that's the best idea right now. We
Well-
need to be doing some intercontinental travel.
Now, this is gonna come as a surprise to everyone. I'm thinking Keith isn't the best option.
Oh my god.
What?
Roll credits.
Ah,
I think I might send a message to Marsaurus. We need to go airborne, I think.
That's
color
gonna
was
be a lot
Marsaurus
even
again?
For him, he's a
Brass.
dragon.
What
He's
was
a brass
that,
dragon.
Chris? He's
Brass.
brass? Okay. Not gold?
Not gold.
Nope.
Dead ass dragon.
He's our good friend.
Well, yeah, but good friends are
He might
sometimes not so good
Be
friends.
busy helping the chapters too if they're still
I think
sieging
more-
the hammer.
They are at
They
war.
might need him.
I mean, it might be worth messaging him at least.
See what Marsaurus has to say.
Let him know to be careful, just in case there's like, I don't know, some weird dragon shit going on. Better watch out.
Who you messaging?
I'll send a message to Marsaurus.
Yarmir's going to lead everyone out of the temple.
Okay.
If people are going to actually follow him is their decision, but Yarmir is the friendlier of the two half-orcs. I will say that right now.
Yeah, I'm following
yeah,
Yarmir out.
Yeah, I'm following
Brent's
him for
following
sure.
Yarmir.
Okay. You make your way through. You remembered. You picked a lot of the right paths. So.
Oh,
well
should
done.
I actually I am going to before I go, I will put my hand on my I can't remember
Miculus.
Nicholas, thank you. I should be able to remember these names way easier than I can considering you said it like 10 times in the last 5 minutes. He puts his hand on Nicholas's shoulder and says, "I'll be with you."
He grabs your hand and he says, "Control your anger."
It will be done.
And he slaps
This-
you on the back.
This is some Jedi shit.
Yarmir is basically a Jedi.
Allegedly.
All right, so
So-
you
All right,
make your
so
way out easily.
we're heading out. Yep.
I sent a message to Marsaurus. Hey, we're in Albion. Need a ride. Catch a ride.
You
Oh crap!
you wait a
You
few
have
beats.
Arian.
in the background, you hear like he's flying through the air somewhere, and you hear, "Oh, really? It's good to hear from you guys. I'm on my way back from Dragonspire. I could probably swing by and pick you up."
That'd be great. Thanks. Love you. Bye.
On to 7-Eleven, y'all need anything?
All right, I'm a head out.
Where do you tell him to meet you?
Ooh. Well, definitely not in that one town.
Not in any town.
Yeah, which one town?
The middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
The Everglade?
Ooh.
'Cause
But isn't that
that's
part of the
like-
Concords?
No, it's
Nope.
not like an independent, just elf.
Yeah, we'll meet at
village.
Everglade. That sounds like a good plan.
Well, I mean, is that all right with you, Bryn?
It's fine with me.
Aurora's like, "Yeah, I kind of need to go home, so
Well, we did get to go on an adventure.
I kind of forgot she was there.
it was an adventure for sure, and thank you so much for obliging me all. I'm sorry if I wasn't more help, but I did have fun, I must admit.
You were very
wonderful.
helpful.
Did you see how I snuck out of the tavern without all of you?
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah,
I'm proud.
thank you. It was
It
my
was well
highest
done.
spell.
Also, sorry about that.
Oh, that's fine. I don't ask a lot of questions. I was happy to be along for the ride. Also, Kangjax, did you kill someone? I do ask a few questions.
So there's this thing that happens when you become an adventurer, and people die at your hands. And
Enough said. Don't worry about it.
yeah.
He's
No,
trying
I
to
think there
protect
should be
some
more that
people.
needs to be said. Actually, they decided that it would be a great idea to kill some guards, and they
You
wanna
know-
where
Alright,
all
that
this
is
blood
not what happened, Bryn.
You know what? That is not what
Put
happened.
it there.
She places a hand on where your heart would be, Kangjax, and she says, "I know you have a good heart. I'm not here to judge what happened."
Well, someone was actually in danger, and they were just rounding up people to arrest them without
They
due
didn't ever
process.
figure out what they were arresting all those people and using them for.
They were arresting them for theft, even though they were
No,
hungry.
no. But the more than that. What were they doing with them? They were arresting them for a reason. I don't think we ever figured it out.
We didn't, but I think we have bigger things on our plate right now.
Get more loose ends.
There's so many.
We don't ever like. We
They're
have
nothing
never
but
once, I think,
problems.
picked up a mystery from the beginning and gotten all the way to the end.
Nope, we have not finished a single. We found the bird.
Yeah.
And we found out
There's
Blossom's
literally-
aunt was a Rakshasa.
Who's still alive.
I was
Who
gonna
is
say,
still
but
alive, but
literally,
out
I
there.
think finding the bird is the only quest we've completed.
You killed
Oh,
all the
and-
horsemen.
Yeah, we
Oh,
did
yeah,
get the
that's
horse.
true,
one.
We
We
did
did
get
that.
the horse. Did we though? I'm pretty sure we still fucked up that last one.
The
Yeah,
last.
we killed
We
it.
the
la-
freed
la-
all
the
those
Matrix out of
demons
it.
who
Oh,
we weren't
shit.
supposed to.
Oh yeah, that was your idea. Do we want to talk about bad decisions that we've made in the past?
I don't
Listen,
remember
that
that
has
being
yet to
my
bite us in the
idea.
ass, so
Aurora laces her hand in King Jax's for a moment and says, "You
Aw.
don't owe me an explanation. I'm sure everything
Just a
was
smooch.
important."
Yes.
Now,
Sorry.
Keith.
Keys.
Oh, hold on. I gotta just post the John Mulaney gif in the Discord right now.
I'm pretty sure that's like the most said line in this entire campaign. I have to post the John Mulaney in the Discord.
I'm a push him. I'm gonna push him.
Anyway,
I like how it's called Sassy Shoulders.
I guess we start making our way back towards the Emberglade.
I suppose so.
For the sake of brevity, you make it there. Aurora is running ahead and kind of giggling. She seems to be a little bit more emboldened now that she feels like she has like independence and like adventure in her still. And she makes it. You make it to the Emberglades. All the trees start to, kind of turn to autumn colors around it, and you make it up to the gates. They are actually open right now, and Lathander, Aurora's husband, is standing at the gates. He is like sharpening his giant like great sword on a stone outside.
I'm gonna lean over to Blossom and be like, I think he's compensating for something.
Blossom giggles.
Sorry.
Not subtly.
Sorry, I had to make the joke. Continue.
we are mature and professional adventurers.
He does
looks
kind
up-
of like pat
Yeah.
King Jax on the shoulder too, just like that's rough, buddy.
That's rough.
Oh, that's rough, buddy.
Well, there
Um,
was the one story about Bimbar the Wise, whose first girlfriend turned into the moon.
God.
Fair.
All right, so Lathander looks up from sharpening his sword, and he says, "Aurora, you've made it back. How was adventuring?" And I was waiting for someone to respond, and then I realized I was
Realized
Aurora.
it
So now
was
Chris will have a conversation with
fantastic.
himself for about 5 minutes.
She runs up and she's like, "It was so great. I did so many cool things. Everyone is so magnificent." And they do kind of like the Christian side hug.
Ew, where's the love?
Not there, apparently.
No.
And then she's like, "Oh, also, there's going to be a giant brass dragon descending on our town. All right, see you later. I'm going to go freshen up."
Yeah, clear the airstrip.
Just let him go.
Yeah, we're gonna need to clear out ORD.
Yeah.
Lathander looks over.
RT.
It's like, "Thank you for taking her. It's not often that she gets to adventure anymore, and I feel bad holding her here for
We're glad
political reasons."
she held her own just fine. We're glad nothing happened to her and that we returned her to us safe. Hopefully that satisfies her adventurer's itch for some time, because I know it sure as hell satisfied mine for a bit.
What's the big sword for?
Slicing.
Oh, this? It's for compensating.
Got him.
Slicing my foes, smiting the unholy.
Looks around.
Oh, he's a paladin.
I see neither of these things around here.
He points up to the two broken towers with the giant like fire wreaths portals, and he's like, "You never know."
Hey, Chris.
Mhm.
Just looking at him, do I think I could take him in a fight?
Make an insight check.
Wait. Why are you fighting him now?
No reason. That's a 15.
She hasn't
15.
fought anyone all day. That's why.
You are more skilled at your craft than he is at his, just by assessing
Hell
him.
yeah.
Does he have anything on him that's not a holy symbol that I might try to steal?
Sure, he's got a belt with some pouches and shit.
I would like some of his shit as we walk past.
All right, make a sleight of hand check.
We
I'm
have
not going to fight him.
concerns
I just,
about the
for personal
security
reasons,
of your
I didn't know
shit.
if I could, if I wanted.
I just want to know that I could take him.
18.
He rolled a 4. So
Ha!
you steal a pouch.
Yeah, I'll check it later.
Okay.
I'm
Our
just
outlook
feeling
on that.
self-satisfied that I took something from somebody who makes King Jax upset.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
literally Blossom's only motivation.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
She's
Listen,
just
our
being
outlooks on life
petty
are very opposed.
AF.
I'm here for the pettiness.
Saffron Akentia, Lathander's mother and Bryn's like third cousin, I think we figured out.
I think so.
She comes outside and she whistles and her hawk descends from the trees above. And she's like, it seems your ride is here.
Is there a dragon in the sky?
You wait a few ticks, and you hear a dragon descending, the wings flapping. You look up, and he does have the red clay on himself, disguising himself as a red dragon, the same as when you met him. Seems to be an ongoing ploy he uses to maybe keep people the hell away from him. And he descends, he's like, hey guys, you ready to go?
Nice
Hello,
costume.
yes please.
Nice costume.
Oh yeah, thanks. He kind of
Looking
shakes
good.
a wing off.
Well, before we go, I'd like to say farewell to Aurora. It had been
Oh, of
quite some
course.
time. Yeah, I don't know when I'll be seeing her again, so
Marsaurus does the Nance shoulders.
he doesn't even know.
Dragons know
Blossom,
much.
like,
And somehow we all know.
yeah, you should go and go say
Talk
goodbye
to
to
her.
your friends. Well,
There's so much sexual tension you can make diamonds
like-
here.
I like scooch King Jax like towards her.
Marsaurus is like, someone go. This is way out of character. Never mind.
I'm glad you caught yourself before you did that
I
one.
was gonna say someone go distract Lathander, but he doesn't know who Lathander is.
I figured someone was thinking it right now. Oh my god, look, unholy and evil things.
I
Oh
can
my.
make an unholy evil thing from this
Is
fight.
that heresy I see on the horizon?
Yeah.
I
So
think I see a foe.
you find Aurora out back. She has like a bucket of water or like a fountain, and she's kind of cleaning her face in the fountain.
Well, my ride/friend is here.
I'm so impressed that you know a dragon. That's so cool.
Well, Marsaurus and I, we're tight. We're good friends.
It's so interesting, and there's so much about you that's different now, but there's a lot that's the same too.
Well, yes. I mean, I hope I've changed for the better. Well, and you've definitely changed for the better too. What bit of you has changed?
Yes, well, it's a lot of work managing all the clans now.
Well,
But
yes, I wouldn't. Well, I don't know how you do it. It's quite inspiring, honestly.
perhaps someday you'll come back and maybe you'll introduce your clan down to our clans and, maybe set up an alliance of sorts.
Well, that would be a good idea, especially considering now that I'm a wanted man.
Allegedly wanted man.
Well, there's a warrant for the arrest. It's just.
You are wanted. It's just for an alleged crime.
Okay, Jax,
We're
you're about
using
to
the
fly.
indefinite words.
You're about to fly to a different continent. I'm sure who is ever after you for unjust things is not going to find you.
Well, I hope not. But it was good to see you. It was nice to adventure with you.
You too. And if you ever want, to take me on another adventure, just come back. Hopefully I'm not in court.
Contemplates asking her to go to Theroboros. Well, I am going to miss you fiercely, like I have missed you before, and well, I hope you do keep well. And if you do need anything, feel free to reach out. Magical messaging. I've got the app now.
You too, you big fuzzy goofball. And she comes in for a hug, and she grabs the back of your neck.
Ooh. How do I react to this? Yeah, hug. Yeah, samesies.
Playing it cool.
Gotta play it smooth. You know, most people are taking the high road. There's a lot of room down there on the low road.
Sounds like an innuendo.
No,
Remember that
it's
this is being broadcast. In this way. My God.
She
it's a
turns
Parks and
back.
Rec quote.
TOS. TOS.
She turns back and wipes her face off one more time.
Oh,
And she's like, "Oh, by the way, here." And she picks a wildflower next to her and gives it to you.
King Jax will like put it into his hair.
Don't let it die. Put it in some water. Jeez.
Oh, I will. Well, I've got some. I'll find a druid who'll keep it alive. You know, they're good at that stuff.
All right. Well, I could talk to you all day, so go. You have to be the one to go. You know that.
I know it's really hard. We do this furball goodbye. You know me. I do the furball goodbye where I say I'm gonna leave, but then I end up having a conversation for the next 2 hours at least.
I
Well,
know,
don't
but you
you
don't
get him
have
out of
2
there.
hours.
Okay. Well, gives that longing look like. Yes, but I
smolder.
can't. The smolder. The.
You are a man of God.
I know. Well, the man of Boolin
Yeah.
looks up Boolin commandments. Where are the tablets?
Even
Well,
tablets, can you like, you can dial him up and be like, yo, dude.
hey,
is
hey,
this
could you
cool?
hey, could you like sever a marriage for me, please? You've got
All right,
that
go.
authority.
And she's like shooing you out at this point. She kind of has a broom and she's like hitting you in the back of the legs with it.
Fine, I'm going. Well, it was good to see you. I'll miss you.
I will miss you too.
And hopefully I don't die out there.
Go make the world a better place. And she's like still like hitting you with the end of the broom.
All right, fine, I will. And whispers under breath, cutie patootie.
She smacks you hard with the broom.
Ah! And I'm just gonna be, big welt on back head. I'm
You
just
will
holding
wear
back
the
his
welt
head.
with pride.
No.
Are we ready to go? Yes, I'm ready to go. All right, Marsaurus, let's go. Let's fly.
All right, Bryn, anything you want to do here?
I'll say goodbye to Saffron, but
She gives you a hug. If you accept it, of course.
I
And
do,
she-
yeah.
Yeah. And she says, "Well, perhaps someday return to your homelands. Let me know what has been made of it, and maybe I could get another clan out there to take care of it."
I will.
All right.
Thank you for welcoming me into your home. It was good to know.
Of course, if
Done.
you ever have, like vacation days and you want to come back, let me know.
Vacation days.
Thank you.
Some PTO.
Keep well, all of you.
We will. And she smiles confidently and nods. So you all board on the Marsaurus Express. You take to the skies. I'm gonna kind of advance a little time here because it's towards the end of the session. Oh, my dog's having puppy dreams.
No.
Saying, go,
Um,
baby boy.
You fly for a while. You fly for what feels like 8 hours. Half of you are gripping on for,
King Jax
dear
is.
life.
Especially the whole time we're over the ocean, Blossom is not looking down.
Mhm.
Just like,
There's not a whole lot of room for conversation to be had up here. It is pretty loud at the speed he is traveling. So most of you are just clinging on with your thoughts. All of you reflect upon what's weighing you down. Now you all kind of know a little bit of what Yaramir has to deal with as well. You look back and you see Albion in the rearview mirror of Marsaurus, and there's a lot of pain there, but you met some pretty cool people along the way. You make it to what appears to be just a large island with a stone-shaped mountain. Marsaurus sets down and nestles in, and he says, "All right, well, I can't fly the whole way in one day, all right? So I need a break."
No, but it's easier than chopping through ice with a boat.
Yeah. He turns around and he lets out this large achoo and sneezes.
Bless you.
Medicine check. That is a 22.
Yeah, he's sick. He may or may not smell of roses. He
Okay, is it yes or no?
yeah, he does.
Marsaurus. No.
Do you say anything to him?
Are you okay, dear friends?
Yeah, I've got that like holiday flu. Like I've been traveling and I've been around. I went home for candle nights and I kind of stayed a while. So I've been around a lot of people. I might have just caught a cold. No bigs.
Sorry, we made you go flying all transcontinental for us. You should be home resting.
Oh, you're fine. I was headed back anyways. It's time to get back to duty. I heard there's a war going on. I should probably be there.
Look, Marsaurus, buddy, what you've got might be a little more concerning than what you think. There's a certain scent I'm picking up of, roses.
Probably smells better than my normal scales.
Marsaurus,
Mm-hmm.
have you encountered the rose illness before?
Sometimes my babies smell like roses, but no.
Yeah, we knew that.
Mm-hmm.
It makes people very, very ill. It has even killed.
That's not the best news, but I've got a job to do. I've got to get you guys home. We got to take care of that first, and then maybe I'll solve that in my free time.
Luckily, us going home is part of like finding cure, solving this illness. So just do take care and try and go easy there, buddy.
I will.
Give him hug, even though he is big dragon.
Yeah. Well, anyways, come on, and then this is kind of like my spare lair, if you will. I always stop here on the flight home, and he shifts down into a brass dragonborn form. He has kind of like a blue like robes down to his feet, and he walks in, and you do walk in, and it is a nice lavish cave high up on this mountain peak. There's art aligning all the walls. There's like feathered rugs and pillows, and there is a large pile of gold at the opposite end.
So, are there any insignias on these lavish furniture that we'd recognize, or at least that I'd recognize?
No, they're red velvet. They have gold trim.
No
insignias.
No insignias? Okay.
I head to the fridge for a beer.
There's beer.
Any books?
There's books. There's like
I
a
go hunting
bookshelf
for anything
about
useful.
history.
Beers,
This is like his vacation home, so there's no like spell books like in his other lair, but there is about history, and if you want to read anything about that.
Is it just like one big open space, or are there like other caves branching off or anything?
There's just one big open space.
I want to see if I can find anything out about this hand.
Okay. Make a investigation check.
That's a natural one.
You get lost in a book about
Fires.
the
Tracks.
adjudicator and how
Makes
lovely
sense.
she is.
I get myself worked up, being angry, forget all about why I came here in the first place.
This book is shit.
So how far are we now from?
Let me pull up the world map for you. I don't know if I have that on
Yeah.
Roll20 still. I think I do. Oh, do I really not?
Did
It's
we
okay.
we made it across the water?
Yeah, that's-
Worst.
though, yeah. Not
You're
yet.
not on Theroboros yet, no.
Not yet. Okay.
You're-
We're
I
in
couldn't
a
remember how
weird
far you said
sailing.
we got.
You are on the island of Glitter Gold. It is kind of the halfway point between Albion and Theroboros.
Good rest stop.
Yeah, it's about halfway.
On the bright side, we're not sailing.
Oh yeah, no,
That's a good point.
definitely.
Glitter Gold is known for its riches and its thieving and its vast mines of dwarven workers who are all in it for themselves, trying to get make a living, basically.
Hence the name.
You look over to the pile of gold, and you can see some of them are actual gold nuggets that have not been sculpted down to coins or bars. So it is like,
Is he just straight up just yanking this shit from the dwarves?
you want to ask
Dragon,
him?
yo.
I don't know if I want to ask him that. I think I gotta just respect the hustle and let him do it.
Respect the hustle.
Like, he's getting paid. I'm not. That's not my business.
Okay, so would you like to take a long rest here?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you want to have watches or just trust that you're fine?
I'll take
I'm
a
gonna trust
watch.
her, okay.
Get
I'm
the
trusting my
doggy
Saurus,
again?
honestly.
Yeah, I can put my hound at the doorway.
Okay.
'cause
I
they
have
were
something
just
I'd
about to
like to
rest.
do on my watch anyway.
Before we go to rest, I'm gonna send a message to Keith, letting him know we're going back overseas. Gotta let Keith know what's good, and then I'm gonna let Blossom's family know, like, hey, we're we're going on the lamb. So let
Well,
us
not
know.
so much.
Let us know if you hear from
Blossom's
Mom.
like, no, shit.
Blossom's father responds, and he's like, "All right, tell Blossom to be safe, and I'll be thinking
Your
of her."
father says be safe, and that he's thinking of you.
Thanks, King Jax.
What was the other one, Keith? You hear
Keith.
rapid winds again in the background, and he's like, "All right, hey."
Oh, Keith, old buddy, how's it going?
It's pretty good. We're in the middle of the sea. You know
Oh,
how I do.
King Jack's trying to sound all piratey. Oh, indeed, good mate.
Flea, that's a fucking harpy. Shoot it. And you hear like a cannon go off in the background.
Doesn't that seems like a little bit overkill for a harpy? Anyway,
You hear in the background, I hit it.
anyway,
Flea.
we're going
Worst
back
first
over to
mate.
Theroboros. So if you come looking for us, we're not going to be around in Albion.
That's right. I'm actually I'm over in the desert. You know, they have that stupid name for it, the Mont Deserte, but everyone knows it's just the desert. So I'm over there. I'm in a port right now. I'm picking up some cargo. Gonna bring it back to Theroboros. Maybe I'll swing by.
Do swing by. We might need some help.
I heard there's a fucking war over there, though. I don't know.
Well, there's a war, which means profit for you, especially with shipping and smuggling.
Flea, you want to fight a war? No. All right, we'll be there.
Sounds
Me
good.
too,
Miss you,
Flea.
buddy. Kisses.
Keith is.
Flea is one of the most relatable characters that has ever been played.
He's a little gremlin, and I love him.
And
Yeah,
Blossom
pretty much.
I love him. If Blossom sees King Jack's like going through his rotary of calls, she might be like, if you got the power left, could you just like let Cal know where we're going? Because I didn't get to say
yeah.
bye. I just feel kind of rude.
Boop, beep, boop.
Like, didn't even leave a note the next morning or anything. I was just fucking gone.
I got you, live store. Hey, Cal, it's me, King Jax.
Hello.
We're doing okay. We're going back to Theroporos. Blossom misses you and she sends kisses. Bye.
Send them back, King Jax.
He said to give you kisses, but I don't think he meant kisses from me.
No, I don't think so. And also, really? He said that? Huh.
I'll be working for the devil to try to find out what made me.
Oh, he's also going double agent to figure out secrets.
Wait, what?
Yeah, working for devil to find out who made him.
And
don't-
I mean Tawn, not like a real devil.
Oh, he means Tawn. Never mind.
Oh, shit.
He is the devil. That is correct. Good
Bless his
assessment.
heart.
All right, maybe the real devil.
We all know that
Oh,
Tawn is
goddammit.
actually Asmodeus.
Tell him to be careful. Watch his back. Don't die.
So Adrian, how you doing? We're going back to home for you.
Good. Good.
Well, we'll be able to,
Blossom's tail wagging her in the face.
we'll be able to check on Callan.
I left him alone too long.
Well, we will definitely be able to check on him. He'll be okay.
I hope so.
He's in the chapters. I mean, that's got to be like one of the safest places to be on Theroboros. Nothing's gonna happen to him there.
Well, I mean, okay,
Oof.
let's just get going.
We'll be there soon, and we're making good headway. We got all this, all this new information. We're getting closer.
Okay, so everybody settles down for the night. There's a lot of couch space. There's not much for beds. And this is like his bachelor pad.
Nice. It's just a futon.
It really is like six.
Oh, this is how we
futons.
ended up with the kids. All
Yeah.
right.
Blossom, you're kind of woken up in the middle of the night by like a sound. And you see Nock standing there, and he's kind of unlocking all of Marsaurus's shit. And he
Not
just
like that.
he's going at it to like, shit, fuck, shit, and he's just like swearing under his breath. And he finally gets one open. He's like, he like takes his hand and just like slaps it through like a pile of gold, and it kind of splatters against the wall. And he's like, no, and he shuts it.
Are you looking for something? I'll kind of like whisper to him, not trying to wake anybody else up.
Box Brown.
Do you know that it's here, like for sure?
No?
Oh, all right.
Well, good luck then.
Well, just checking. I mean, like,
It's locked.
what's in it?
Secret.
Still not, anything that's gonna like hurt anybody though, right?
You know.
It takes a long pause. No.
Blossom just kind of like looks at him for a minute but doesn't say anything. She's not fucking questioning an arch existence.
He goes and unlocks every single thing in this cavern as you just watch him. And he finally, like, he looks at you, he's like, soon. And he like heads outside and he jumps off the cliff and he like vanishes midair.
All right. Did he just
Ooh,
leave
what?
everything that he opens like wide open and unlocked?
Yep.
He doesn't
He's
care
like,
about
God
what's in
damn
it.
it! They're
He just-
gonna blame this all on me. I'll like start going through and closing things.
Okay. Anything else anyone wants to do this evening?
Yep. Are we? Yeah. I'll do something.
Okay.
So when everyone's asleep, or at least I think everyone's asleep. Yarmir's going to procure a small red vial from his traveler's pack, I guess, that he's got, and kind of spread it on his hand and put it on his face for a while. He's basically painting his face in a sense, and it'll stay like that.
Into the next day?
Yep. Oh yeah. No, it'll. Everyone will see it in the morning.
Okay. So you wake up the next morning. The faithful hound does not bark all night, so everything's cool. You are high up on the mountain. There is no path down to another cave. You all kind of stretch and walk out. And then you look over to the giant dragonborn, or the giant dragon. He prefers to sleep in dragon form. In the center of the room on one of the felt rugs, breathing heavily and labored, and is not waking up.
Yep.
Well,
So we might be stuck here.
that's
King
a ride
Jax.
off this rock.
King
Hey,
Jax,
Jax,
wake
can you
up!
fix him?
I'm awake.
Can you
Something's
fix it?
wrong. Morsaurus. He's not
I
waking
don't know.
up.
What happened to your face?
Nah, shit.
I'm gonna.
Seeing as I'm now the ward of Kel, or however.
What the fuck is Kel?
It's not important.
Anyway, first of all, let's get
one thing at a
Marsaurus up.
time. Yeah.
I'm gonna use Lesser Resto to see if that'll get him up.
Okay. You go over to his head and kind of wake up, buddy, and cast this cold magic flows through him, and his eyes kind of roll over, and his tongue kind of laps out of his mouth sluggishly, and he looks up at you, and he has like foam coming from his mouth.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay, Jax, you
great.
might want to back away.
Marsaurus, it's me, Kane Jax. Are you okay?
Okay, Jax.
He takes a
Okay,
big
Jax, back
bite
up.
at you,
Oh God!
and that's where we'll end tonight's session.
Oh god damn you!
No,
Oh.
I lied. Motherfucker.
Oh man, we're still gonna have to take a boat.
That's your concern?
You can't
Blossom
escape
is
both.
dragon.
Blossom's first concern. so we're
Allegedly
gonna have to take
rabid.
a boat.
Dragon.
Well, thanks for
is what
playing,
the rose
everybody.
thing
I hope
does.
you enjoyed.
Thanks
A
for leaving
more-
us on another cliffhanger.
Oh,
ass.
I hope you enjoyed a more low-key session. Next
Oh,
session
super
we'll
low-key.
Low
Pick it up.
key.
That's a good way to bring us
We
back
caused
from
a
the
fire panic.
from the holidays. I think is,
Are on the lam.
Yeah, it's making
our
up for last
consequences
week.
caught up with us.
Oh my god. Jeez.
All right, do we want to go
Jeez.
around and plug?
Sure.
Alright.
Let's start with Abby.
Hello. I'm not muted, am I?
No, you're
Nope.
good.
No.
All right, you're good. I'm not muted.
We just didn't say hi back because you've been talking to us for a while.
No, I was just afraid I was muted. All right, hello. So tomorrow is my next Table Talkies interview, and I'm going to be interviewing Craig Campbell of Nerdburger Games. He is very cool. Come hang out with us. And then next week is the premiere of The Excellence, which is our game all about excellent princesses, an awesome world with a really great rotating cast of princesses, and it is our very first and only family-friendly show.
Oh, wow.
And only, as Chris
And
swears
only.
all night.
Fuck.
So that one will be family-friendly. It'll be a lot of fun. Come watch excellent princesses overcome challenges and make great friendships. It'll be great. Then I've got more table talking. We've got a panel on accessibility in gaming next Thursday with Sam and some friends from Heroes Without Limits, which is very exciting. And then the Tuesday after that is another one shot of Cobalt Ate My Babies.
Yes. All hail King Torg.
All
Oh, hell, King Torg.
Also, I
Woo!
made this layout, so let me know if you like it.
It's so
It's so cool.
That's what I was going to plug. You stole my plug.
Sorry.
I was going
All
to
the
praise you,
thunder.
damn it. All right. Patches.
All right, so my name is Patches. You can find me on Twitter at Patches with 2 H's, not just one. I don't do a whole lot of other D&D stuff. However, I do have a plug this time that is not D&D
Ooh.
related, actually. My cousin is a barber in training in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area, and he posts stuff on Instagram of his works in progress, basically. So if you want to follow him, that is Johnny Chops with a Z. So Johnny, the name, and then Chops,
Nice.
CHOPZ
Dude.
on Instagram. And I'm sure he'd really appreciate the follows. And if you're in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area, consider checking him out.
That's
That's
awesome.
such a great handle. Johnny
So
Chops.
good.
Johnny
It's
Chops.
good.
Like, I'd go see him.
Yep.
I'd let him cut my
Yeah.
hair and trim
I'd
my
let him
beard.
chop me up. All right. I guess I'll go next since we're kind of going in a reverse circle. What I was gonna plug, Abby, thank you so much for making this layout. It looks so great. You do such good work for the channel, so I just want to appreciate you on a public stage. So thank you. Stuff that I have coming up. I guess I'm gonna plug Back in Time. Last night we had Elsewhere, DM'd by Lucy. If you have not seen that, please go watch the VOD. It was so much fun getting to play with awesome people. And that's kind of all I've got. Next week I play Crukazel and Steam Spell. We're kind of getting back into the main story of that after the holidays as well. That was really cool. Check out our one shot if you haven't seen it. That's VOD on our. I think it's on YouTube now.
It's still here too.
It's still here.
And it's
Okay.
on YouTube.
Okay, cool. So either place, go ahead and check that out, and then we'll be back with Agora's Bells in 2 weeks, same time. Thanks to all the wonderful peeps. Alex, you are up.
Oh, holy shit. Okay. Hi, I'm Alex.
Who am I?
Oh yeah, we're doing a thing.
I help run things around here. You can find me on Twitter at Mr. Puddins. It's probably how you got here, so I'm not gonna really focus on that too much. As Chris pointed out, I am the DM of Steam Spell, the Steam/Diesel/Mage Punk saga. That's kind of the other flagship of Chromatic Chimera at the moment. Other than that, go check out our other stuff. If you scroll down, there's a calendar down there that's handy that can point you to what you're looking for. And also, we have I got 2 other things. We got a sponsorship with Tabletop Loot. So if you're ordering dice, put in coupon code SHIELDMOM, all one word, all lowercase. You'll get 15% off on your order of dice. 2 people have utilized it so far. It's pretty great. And we also, if you may have heard some new music tonight, that is because as of this morning, we now are all, along with featuring music by Black Hill, we are featuring music by Estock, a Finnish music project that focuses on ambient fantasy music and dungeon synth. And if you scroll down, there's a link to the album that we're using, Chapter 1, that you can pick up for €1. So that's $1.12 American dollars. An album on Bandcamp. That's like such a steal because it's so good for D&D music. So anyway, go check that out.
Sam.
Hey, I am Sam. You can find me on Twitter at @thesamwisest. I'm samwise_GameG here on Twitch, where I will randomly stream some video games. You can also see me. I'm also in Agora Spells, that's what we just did. Steam Spell. You can see me next Wednesday. I play Mouse, the Tiefling Ranger Cleric. You can also see me in The Excellence next Tuesday. And I'm also going to be speaking on the accessibility panel as part of the Heroes Without Limits table talkies that Abby will be doing in a couple of weeks. I'm one of the co-producers over at Heroes Without Limits, which is a community by and for disabled, chronically ill, and neurodiverse folks. So if you identify as one of those communities, come hang out and play. We got some really awesome things coming up. I'm going to be DMing a Dark Crystal themed 5e game next month called The Tales from Thra. We are also going to be starting a Witcher set game by Talsorian Games. That's going to be DM'd by Mustang's Art, who's like a huge Witcher fan. They're going to make it really awesome. I'm super excited to see what they do. So check that out in February. Yeah, I think that's all I got.
Nice. Best for last, Lucy.
I'm Lucy. I'm also in Steam Spell as Cat Steel. You can find me on Twitter at Bluebird Draws. I post a lot of art. I have a podcast called Odyssey Exploration and Research. It is out on most podcasting platforms, including Apple Podcasts. A new episode is coming out on the 15th. That will be episode 3. And I run Elsewhere, our once monthly game that is on Tuesdays at 7, the first Tuesday of every month, with some of the lovely people here and some of the people from Steam Spell and my little brother, and it's a lot of fun. You guys should check it out.
Watch
That's it.
Alex and I be not best friends.
It's so good.
They have like the
Interesting.
opposite
Oh, it's so good.
dynamic.
It's so good.
You can also listen, like, just watch Chris just be big beefy boy.
I'm just a big
Aw,
golden
He's
retriever.
so good.
Cutest barbarian. I love him.
Anyway, we're gonna
Anyway.
go raid our friends at Dice
Yeah.
Priory because I love them.
Yay! Good beans.
All right, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Go give your love to Dice Prior if you've stuck around
Yes.
this long, and we'll see you
Thanks
next.
for the bits.
We'll see you
Thank
tomorrow.
you so much, guys.
If you're subbed,
Yeah.
put the uwoos in the chat for Dice
Oh my
Priory.
Yep,
gosh.
we
Give 'em
the
only want
ooh-woos.
ooh-woos.
We're gonna ooh the heck out of
All
them.
right, good night, everybody. Thank you.
Good night.
Guys.
Everyone.
Good